the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Adjusting transmitter output.
Howdy y'all, this is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever we need individuals who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals. And I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Don't Unfriend Me show. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the show.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, Mike was temporary malfunction.
Monday.
It's Monday. Yeah, we're ironing the bugs out. Amy is back in the house. Amy, yay!
I'm so happy to be here, guys. I really missed everyone.
Everybody wanted proof of life because they thought you were
Yeah.
dead. So we had to show them. So
Yes,
there it is.
I'm back.
Back in the house.
In the house.
Brian Cook was already here, so was Scott Lloyd. That will be updated tonight. So Jessica Lynch will be in house March 31st, POW.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, March 31st, tomorrow night. Yeah, that's going to be a good show.
Awesome.
That's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
How's the mic on Amy? Oh, it's good. Amy, do me a favor. Just grab the bottom and just push it towards just the mic. Yep. There. Perfect. Beautiful.
Got it.
Let's see. Damani Felder will be in the house April 3rd. He's going to be in every month. He is now a staple. He is coming on the show full time, and I'll be going on his show full time. So Damani and I have been good friends for a while, and I think we're trying to figure out how to help the networks come together. He's going to be coming out with his wife and staying with us here in the next month or two, and we're going to have a business strategy of how we can expand the Don't Unfriend Me show and all that type of stuff. So we're excited about that. The older millennial from Twitter will be here. Huge conservative influencer over there. It's a great get. He's really popular, like we do over on Facebook. He's really popular over on Twitter. But more importantly, we have something that we're going to break the problem with this tonight. We are going to figure it out, and that is the donation issue that when Amy is here. We are not going to have that happen tonight. It's our first night back in months.
Yeah. I think the last time I was here was before Christmas. I don't think I've been here since.
I don't think you have been.
Yeah, I think it's.
You took 3 months off, so it was.
I did.
It was
Thank
good.
you for all the grace. Because
oh, sure.
It was. Yeah, I needed it.
Did we had a choice? I didn't think we had a choice. I thought it was hey, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Of course we did, and we love you, and we can't say how thankful we are to have you back. So what have you been doing? Just give everyone a quick recap.
Yeah, so I switched career roles a little bit. I'm still in real estate, but instead of helping people buy and sell real estate, I'm now managing 2 different offices. So I'm helping other agents, grow their business and honestly just, keeping up with the laws and keeping everyone on track. So I really enjoy it. I'm grateful for where I am, and it's just it was a lot. It was a big transition for me. It was a lot of educational things and components I needed to do, and I crammed about a year of school into about 6 weeks.
Wow,
so,
good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
It was worth it. I'm really happy, and I'm glad that I can do both now. Things have kind of mellowed out where I am, so I'm good.
Good. So are we back for good?
I'm back for good. I mean, barring any crazy circumstances, I'm back.
Sure.
Good.
Like we understand there's travel and there's job and there's requirements and that's, it happens all the time. It's good to have you back. It's good. It's good. It's
so
good.
Good to be here. I've missed you all. I missed you guys and I missed all of the dummies. I really did miss everyone. So. Well,
that's great because we're here and we're ready for you. Let's see. Housekeeping. Jackets went out.
Yes,
and
shipped today.
Coffee and jackets all went out for February. March will be ordered and we'll get those out by probably the 15th. We'll try for the 15th.
And if anyone
maybe
knows how to reach Daniel,
20th.
please have him reach out to me.
Yeah, Dan Ewer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan Ewer. So UHER. We need Dan.
Yeah, he's the only person I haven't heard from for
I could probably do a little better research and find him on Facebook or something. So I may do that. Okay. But we'll go from there. But yeah, we definitely need him for this venture. Hey, yes. E! Sorry, I need Ethan for one thing. Well, we got a busy show tonight. We got a whole bunch going on. Remember, Jessica Lynch will be here tomorrow. That's going to be a good time. And anything else? Housekeeping?
Yes, housekeeping.
Oh.
We got a couple packages in the mail today. So from Miss Debbie Hensley. So really appreciate it.
Those little cushion feet things?
They're right here.
Oh, I'll take. No, not that. That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh,
Thanks,
okay,
buddy.
gotcha.
I got it. It's in here. I have it. I forgot.
So first, thank you. This will feed me for at least 2 days.
Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe.
So the kids are looking at me. Mom, can I have one? I said, you can have one. That's it. Just one. But
so what was that for?
That was for my birthday. It
Right.
was a late birthday present. So appreciate that.
And who was that from?
Debbie Hensley.
Okay.
All the packages were from Debbie Hensley. And we know that Debbie Hensley has been asking for autographed feet pics for quite some time. So she took it a little bit further.
She dipped her toe into the water.
So this book.
It's How to Talk to Your Partner About Your Foot Fetish.
Oh
my partner already knows. She knows. Everyone knows I have a foot fetish. Why do we need a book?
Little feet.
Oh yeah.
For the fingers.
Can I see this?
And then my personal favorite, both the kids said they're going to wear these to school.
These don't fit.
They're slippers.
They're feet slippers.
Awesome.
I opened them and I just about died when I saw everything.
I love it.
Oh man.
It's
too funny.
She should have signed the slippers, Debbie. Right?
Well, I'm letting you know right now. These are going in the end of the year drawing prize. Amy, I don't know if you're aware, but we have Jacket Fridays.
Yes.
Twice a month. And that's been,
twice a month. It was once a month.
Yeah, we do it.
It's got popular.
Yeah.
It's become popular.
I love it.
So we're going to be autographing the feet and we're going to be repurposing these to our winner. This is probably when Debbie Hensley is going to win. So here's your foot. So thank you, Debbie.
And we'll all sign those feet.
Yes, we will.
We will.
Appreciate it.
On my face.
So exciting.
Something.
I've tried to tell her $1,000 donation gets you foot pics. I have no morals or scruples. Folks, it's gonna be a busy show tonight. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. Since we've got an hour and 50 minutes, and we have to watch the Colorado Avalanche get one step closer to winning the President's Cup trophy for the entire NHL.
Yes.
They lost to the Winnipeg Jets, and dude, it's Hellebuck. He just stands on his head, and we'll see what happens. I think we're at a firm 6 points ahead. We have 2 games in hand on Dallas, which is ridiculous, and we've got 10 games left. The chances, if we get 9 points in any increments over the next 10 games, which the Avs have a 742% win percentage, which means that we're going to win 7.5 out of those 10 games. We should have this wrapped up here in a week. Yep. So let's see where we're at. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, of course. We don't know yet. So, Washington Capitals aren't doing anything, Amy. I'm sorry.
I'm so busy right now. I haven't followed any sports.
Don't even care.
Yeah, don't even care. I did the March Madness bracket, but I'm out already on that one.
Oh, were you? Who was your pick?
I picked Duke to win it all.
So,
so did Duke.
So did
Duke.
Duke.
So did Ethan.
So did he.
Yeah.
He picked Duke, and he got
so
kicked
we're out.
too.
Yeah, we're.
So UConn is the heavy. Yeah, is UConn still in it?
No idea. I didn't care after I heard Duke was out. I was like, great, don't care anymore. I don't even
Fair
follow any of it anyway. You're just
there.
I'm
You're
just
doing
doing
it
it for fun.
All right. Well, that's easy peasy. Folks, do me a favor. Please get this shared on Twitter and everywhere else. Let's get those big numbers that we love to see. Mondays are weird. Donation Mondays have been very strange lately. And we missed it 2 times for the first, like in almost 2 years. I think we missed it 4 times, and then we did it 2 times back to back, and then we've just crushed it every other night. It was weird. Mondays have been weird. So, Amy, please don't curse us.
I won't.
Democrats piss me off.
Yeah. Facebook's making me mad. The last 2 shows that won't load comments, so I can't see comments on Facebook, people. So
yeah, it's
unfortunately it won't load my comments. See, it's 7 minutes was the last time a comment was said on Facebook.
Just shut it down and start over.
I have.
Oh,
I've refreshed. I've started over, gotten a new window, shut everything down. It's Facebook is being.
Olivia, Matt might be moving to Fairfax. Huh?
What?
But Matt who? Matt who?
I think she means Olivia, Matt. I might be moving to Fairfax.
Oh,
that would be awesome.
Why are you going to Fairfax?
Yeah, why Fairfax?
Yeah,
why not Loudon?
Can we change this, please?
Loudon's
Can I help you?
Check out Loudon County. Hey, if you need help, let me know.
Yeah, you might want to go to Amy, but you don't want to go to Fairfax. No,
my headquarters is Fairfax.
Not you, her. Meg doesn't want to go to Fairfax. Fairfax is, it's Liberalville.
Yeah,
that's extremely true. Yeah,
right.
Meg, send me a message.
All right, let's get going. We're busy. We got stuff to do.
The further west from DC, the
okay, we are busy. We gotta go. Okay, we gotta go. All right, Sneeko. You guys, Sneeko is a personality over on Twitter, and there's always one thing in common with people on Twitter. It's either you hate Jews or you don't really talk about it. That's how you make a living on Twitter. Either you hate Jews and you make money off of it, or you just don't care and you talk about the news. When Israel does something, you might talk about it, but you really don't have an opinion based upon somebody's religious beliefs or ethnicity. You just simply move on. Then there's the people that literally make money off the Jews. And tonight, this is what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about MAGA, and officially MAGA is dead. It's just dead. It's no longer a thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because we have allowed other people to take it hostage. Mm-hmm. It's no longer Donald Trump's thing. It is a group of influencers who were never MAGA to begin with. Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. These aren't people who are MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene, not MAGA. Never were. They pretended they were. And Joe Rogan took it right up to the election. Tucker Carlson took it right up to the election. And then once Trump was going to be the clear winner and people saw it happening, everyone jumped ship and came aboard. Megyn Kelly was one of those people, but unfortunately that staying power has not remained, and these people have become the poison black pill. Even Nick Fuentes, who was a fervent MAGA supporter, is telling you to vote for liberals now. Here's Sneeko, who can't hold an argument, and this guy has millions of followers, and it baffles me. Here it is.
Does not start on October 7th.
When did the war start? You said 48?
Yes.
In 1936, when they slaughtered 510 Jews. What was the reason for that if it didn't start till 48, Sneeko? Can you answer that without deflecting?
What up?
How are you?
So you got the 3 flags up.
Yeah.
How come?
I'm not Jewish, but I support Israel.
Why do you support Israel if you're not Jewish?
You don't have to. What? Are you Palestinian?
No.
Do you support Palestine?
I want them to be freed.
Okay, so you support them. Wow, you just answered your own question. Good job.
I support Palestine because they're being genocided and they are good people. Why do you
Right.
support Israel? Do you support them because terrorists are attacking them?
No, there's many reasons. I'm just trying to simplify an answer just for a vague question. I also don't believe it's a genocide because it doesn't meet the definition of the Genocide Convention of 48 that was ratified in 51.
They have kept on shooting after the ceasefire. They've made it clear they want to expand to Greater Israel. They want to ethnically cleanse them. They're definitely targeting innocent civilians under the guise and under the lie that they're just attacking Hamas. That is proof of genocide and not war.
It's very easy to label 30 points in 30 seconds. It's not easy to break down 30 points in 30 seconds.
I'm differentiating between war and genocide. If it was a war, then the human shield lie that they purported, they said Yahya Sinwar was hiding behind human shields. They found him fighting on the front lines without human shields.
He wasn't in the front lines. The front lines was in Gaza City at the time. He was in Rafah, which is on the other side of the Gaza Strip.
They said there were human shields, and they said we need to go get Hamas. We need to go kill Hamas. The hospitals that they destroyed, Hamas wasn't there.
So Mohammed Sinwar was where?
Yahya Sinwar.
If you try to correct me, you don't even know who Mohammed Sinwar is. You're like, you mean Yahya Sinwar? Okay. Mohammed Sinwar is the other dude. He died hiding underneath the European hospital. I want to know why you think it is a genocide.
They have been bombed, and we've started with 1948.
Why would you start with 48?
Because they've been kicked out of their homes. This is when it was declared a war.
10 different Arab factions attacked Jews in 1948 after the establishment of Israel. 70,000 Jews were displaced in the first week of the war alone. Many of them killed, and many of them never got to return to their homes. Would you say that was a genocide if we're just pretending killing and displacement equals genocide now? This war, post-October 7th, was started by Hamas and the collaborators of Hamas, like the PIJ, PFLP, DFLP.
This does not start on October 7th.
But when did the war start? You said 48?
Yes.
In 1936, when they targeted and slaughtered 510 Jews during the Third Jaffa riots, what was the reason for that if it didn't start till 48, Sneeko? Can you answer that without deflecting?
We're talking about this land, these people.
It was literally, I'm talking about the exact same land, Sneeko. I'm not talking, it's literally been Palestine. It's not a ridiculous question. You said it started in 48.
Tell me.
Because it isn't just about Zionism or Israel. It's about Jews. I think it's ridiculous when people say the whole conflict started on October 7th. It's equally as stupid to say it started on this arbitrary date.
There's nothing more stupid than somebody here who's defending a state that was using pedophile blackmail to get American politicians money. Right here. So who did Epstein work for? If you're going to say I'm stupid, you're here. Epstein
really wants to change the subject. He skipped!
Wow, this dude ate retard sandwiches before he went on the show.
So
My
easy
God.
to cook these people, and so the issue is that the lines have become so muddied that people are diluting fact with bias, and it's what they want to hear. So therefore, they hold on to these little tiny nuggets that they feel justifies what they know is wrong. I mean, let's face it, it's wrong. Homicidal maniacs, Ted Bundy, was asked the question, do you feel what you did was wrong? And he said, what I did was evil. What I did was completely evil. Charles Manson knew what he did, but he did it for almost like a sacrificial ritual as an appeasement. Still knew it was wrong. Homicidal maniacs hold some things in common together. Narcissism is being one of them, complete control, lack of respect for life. I mean, these are things, tendencies that are borderline consistently necrotic, as they are slowly degrading over time. And the thing is that when you look at a person who's a homicidal maniac, there's about 13 different qualities that those people possess. What's hilarious is that you can take people with high arrogance level, or people who are obnoxious, or people, like I am, and they will hold 6 to 7 of those traits. But it's not the people who hold 6 to 7. It's the people who hold most of those who fall into this category. So you can actually possess certain traits that Charles Manson had. But that doesn't mean you're Charles Manson. You can have traits with Hitler, but that doesn't mean you're a Hitler clone. My point on this whole thing is that we have relegated similarities in history or events and tied them to the worst sort, but don't understand the context of what happened. So when you look at, people were killed by the Nazis, and it was absolutely a genocide. The Jews have killed people in the war with Gaza, and therefore they are just as bad as the Nazis. That is a false equivalence. It's a fallacy. It's not true. This is what you're seeing. And these are the arguments that you have. Amy, does it shock you that you've been gone for 4 months and we're still fighting this fight?
I was just going to say, I'm not surprised at all. This is the same conversation. So I didn't really miss any time then.
No, it's like literally just.
So, yeah. I mean, Yes. I don't really know if I have anything to add to that. I do agree that, people are being killed and a lot of innocent people have been killed, and that's awful. And nobody likes to see that. If you do, then you are probably sharing more traits with Charles Manson than others. But, this is a war. This is, there are casualties. It's unfortunate. I'm not diminishing that. Like, no one wants to see innocent people, especially children, murdered. But, they're just not, it's not the same coin.
No, it's not at all. In fact, it comes down to this, is that you can blame the Jews if you want. But why is it always Israel? Why is it never anyone else? Now, if you take a look at any of the Vietnam,
Israel's fault.
It's Israel's fault. Why? It's the Rothschilds and the banks. 9/11. Who is it? It's the dancing Jews. They did it to pull us into the Iraq war. But that's not what happened. We went to Afghanistan first. That's what they wanted us to hit Afghanistan too. Oh. Okay. The savings and loan scandal. Well, that's AIPAC. Mm-hmm. They're doing it. Oh, okay. Nuclear proliferation. Oh, well, the Jews stole the nuke. And they stole it for the United States and sold the technology, and they had Kennedy killed.
Yes.
It's always the Jews. They are the greatest mastermind of any race. And I wonder why a group of people who are so insignificant to the global, from financial to sheer numbers to geopolitical influence, how can they have so much power but literally have no influence in anyone's decisions? This is the interesting thing.
If they are the masterminds behind all the wars and are so smart, why haven't they taken over the world yet?
Right. Why do they keep getting eliminated?
Why do they mastermind the war to go against their own people?
Let me ask.
It doesn't seem very smart to me.
Let me ask you questions. Seriously, this is a panel who everyone here has found God in one way or another, or has had God in their lives. If the Jews didn't betray Christ, would people hate them?
Yes.
I still think so. Yes.
Why? I'm just wondering.
I think.
Can we name another group of people by race or by theocratic beliefs? By their theocracy, by their theology, who are hated as much as the Jews?
No, maybe the Christians. I mean, the Christians are hated a lot.
But yes, from a theocratic standpoint, but not from a cultural or heritage standpoint as well, right?
Right.
So it's like if you hate Christians, well, you're like, well, geez, I hate 1 billion some odd people, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing that's tied. There's Black Christians, there's Chinese Christians, there's Jews who, surprisingly enough, are Christian. So that's yes, but no, right?
Well, there's people who aren't religious and have never been to a church or never known God or know nothing about the Bible who still hate the Jews.
Right.
They weren't taught about it. They didn't grow up learning about it. They know nothing about it.
Well, they learned it from somewhere because hate is, you guys agree that hate is not inherent.
No.
Right. It's a learned behavior.
It's very rare.
It's not objective. It's subjective. It's just hate. Hate would not exist unless it was taught.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Because it's taught either by experiential learning or by anecdotal situations or practical application, right? So someone will come up to you and say, oh, you need to hate these people because they've been stealing from our tribe. Okay, now I hate them. Or, oh my God, that person walked up and hit me with a club. I hate them. Or it's cold. And the reason it's cold is because those people didn't pray to the sun god. Let's go kill them.
Yeah.
So hate is experiential and it's not objective. It's subjective. Is that fair? Just like love is subjective. Love doesn't exist unless you think about it. Love does not exist without your interpretation.
Sure.
Does it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's subjective. So do we hate the Jews because there are plenty of people to hate? Like, for instance, Indians hate Pakistan. Pakistan hates Indians. Okay. The Kurds and the Shia and the Sunni, they all hate each other. Mm-hmm. Christians and Catholics are okay, but at a point we're killing each other.
Sure.
Moors, Saxons killed each other. There's been hate in all different groups. But can you think of a group of people who don't hate the Jews? Because when you look at the UN or you look at NATO, they're all against Israel. Pretty much everybody's against Israel, minus
the Catholics don't hate the Jews. We love them.
No, but you don't see France and Italy standing with Israel.
No.
And those are predominantly the Roman Catholics. Mm-hmm. And, you don't see Middle Europe standing with the Jews. And they really didn't stand with them in World War II. The only reason they came into it is because Hitler blitzkrieged into Paris and France and started moving into England and attacking. But honestly, I think they were completely comfortable with killing as many Jews as they didn't care. So these are questions we should ask throughout history, right? Is why are the Jews hated so much? And, people have their anecdotal reasons. Well, they own all the banks or the porn industry or the Rothschilds or this or this or this. And it's hard to think about, is the reason why the Jews are hated is because that they betrayed Christ. And Catholicism and Christian are the two biggest religions outside of Muslim religion. And the Muslims hate Jews, well, because the Muslims hate anyone who isn't Muslim. And they're the closest ones. Mm-hmm. You put Hindus in Israel, and the Muslims would kill them. You put the Uyghurs in Israel, and the Muslims would kill them, and the Arabs would kill them. So it really doesn't matter. It's just anyone who is near them who aren't Muslim, they want to kill. Well, Matt, Hindus are... No, don't even start with me. Not even close. Not even remotely close. Something to think about. It's something to think about, because I don't think anyone can answer that question.
I'm with you. But it also makes you also question, like the same question, but like the other side of it. Why does everyone hate them? What have they done to all these groups that's more, like, besides betraying Jesus?
Well, it's an interesting point, because Stephen here says something really smart. So the troll bankers in Harry Potter are Jews. Actually, it's funny that you say that, because Voldemort is Adolf Hitler. Oh. And in the story, Star Wars is biblical. It's based upon Jesus. Everyone understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good. The Jedi are the angels. The Sith are the devils. Darth Vader is Satan. Jesus is Luke Skywalker, or Anakin. This is fall from grace, falls from heaven, was the chosen one, was going to be this, and then betrayed Jesus, goes down to hell, deforms, changes his appearance, has a red lightsaber. I mean, the symmetry is just all over the place. Luke comes in. The baby was born through the Virgin Mary with midichlorians. I mean, Yoda is an old master that comes down and brings the tablets down from Mount Sinai. I mean, it's essentially the Bible with starships and lasers and funny people who talk crazy, they do. Harry Potter is absolutely a reflection of Nazi Germany. It's the purebloods. It's Voldemort. He creates the SS, which are the Death Eaters. The Death Eaters go out and they murder and kill. I have an early phone call. We're going to take it. We'll mute up your phone and we'll finish this thought real quick. And if you talk to J.K. Rowling, I don't know if she'll actually say this, but absolutely 100% the bankers in Gringotts are the Jews. And if you look at the way that they're built, and trolls is the way that they look, and I want you to go look at some of the Goebbels photos from 1940s Germany of how he depicted Jews, and I swear to God to you, they look identical to the Gringotts goblins. Identical. And goblins usually have a very different look about them, but they have the big ears, they have the hooked nose, they're hunched over and crouched, they've got the rimmed glasses on there. There's very much symbolism to 1940s Germany in the Harry Potter story. It's all over the place. But that's the way people, when you hear the word Jew, what do you think? You think of yarmulke, you think of dreidels, you think of synagogues, funny looking curls on the side of their hair and beards, and you get really stereotypical. But then if you really ask people, you're going to hear banks, lawyers, money.
Hollywood.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Who's on the phone? What do you want to talk about?
Hey, Matt, it's Frank. How you doing?
What's up, Frank? What are you talking about, buddy?
Hey, first things first. Amy, welcome back. We missed you so much.
I missed you too, Frank. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be here.
No problem, babe. Hey, one thing I keep mulling over in my mind about what you said earlier about the Muslims.
Yeah.
They hate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand people being against the Jews because they think they own everything. But, you're looking at fights here that have been going on for how many thousands of years? These people hate one another. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say 3,000, but
Close enough.
Why are we getting ourselves involved? And I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
No, you don't.
It's a rhetorical question.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
Why are we getting involved in their bullshit?
Why do you think we are? Why are we getting involved in their bullshit? You tell me.
Well, I think, we're told that Israel is our kind of aircraft carrier in the Middle East, and they give us all kinds of intel and everything else, which I don't trust any of it because they know that they can lie to us. It's in their religion, lie to the goyim.
Jews lie to the goyim. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Let me ask you a question, Frank. Do you believe that the United States has interests in the Middle East outside of the Jews?
Absolutely.
Okay, then why can't we be there for those reasons? Why does it have to be Israel?
That is the one thing that I ask myself all the time.
Good.
Why is it Israel?
Well,
why are
it's
we
not
not
Israel.
aligned?
It's not. I just told you. Do the United States have interest in? Do we have an interest in keeping up the Suez, keeping up the Straits of Juarez, keeping up the Persian Gulf, ensuring peace and stability, that we don't have mass immigration into Europe, which already created Europeans' fall in the 1200s? Why would we go ahead and ensure that the Middle East stays relatively as peaceful as humanly possible in this day and age? Why is that a Jew or Israel influence, and why isn't it simply in the United States' best interest to ensure that? That's my question to you.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Yeah.
It shouldn't rely upon Israel.
Okay.
We have so many other connections in that area, and we've seen that with the bombings in the area. All Qatar and UAE and Saudi Arabia and all these countries getting hit, and they are friendly to us, but I'm afraid we're screwing that up.
Why?
Because of us, they are getting hit, and isn't that what Iran
because
said?
of us?
You have
because of
the U.S. has.
When did the United States launch any missile outside of Iran that hit any sovereign country outside of Iran and Syria?
Oh, I'm not saying.
Okay, so why are you blaming us for? Why are you blaming us for what? Why are you blaming us for what Iran did? Do you think Iran would not? Do you think Iran would not have attacked other countries without the U.S. involvement?
Absolutely, and I'm not blaming us.
Oh,
what I'm saying is Iran went absolutely haywire and started hitting everybody in the region.
Who?
For what reason?
Who?
Why would they do that?
Who? Who did Israel
Iran.
hit? Okay, I'll tell you why Iran did that. Because it's in their strategy. Their strategy is that they are not an offensive country. They're a defensive country. Their integrated air defense systems, their mine, their coastal batteries, everything is about defense. They have to run asymmetric warfare. They can't run kinetic warfare because they can't keep up with the dollars that the United States has due to the sanctions and embargoes they put on them. So they've invested into the JIP, the KLM, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Houthis, the Yemenis, the Hezbollah, ISIS-K, Al-Qaeda, every other group, the IRGC, and they have been running proxy wars, which expands Iran's territory by literally tripling the size of Iran throughout the Middle East because they are incapable of putting standing armies in these areas. So they expand their footprint, and what they are doing is by attacking the other countries, what they're assuming it's going to do is have those other countries unify, and they are going to resist and push back against Israel and the United States like they've done in the past. But the difference between then and now is that we have the Abraham Accords, and those countries, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, I'm going to say it the way it's meant to be said, I'm sorry. These countries have signed an accord to establish and work towards peace. And they have recognized that they have recognized the sovereignty of Israel. Did you notice how none of these countries got into Israel except for Lebanon? No other country in the Middle East attacked Israel. It was only Lebanon, who has literally been attacking the Jews since the land before time. And the reason why is because one of the largest proxies, Hezbollah, outside of Hamas, is in the north, and this is their MO. It's modus operandi. So you have a situation here, brother, that these other countries were attacked simply to create instability. Now, why don't they attack Europe? Well, Iran understands why they don't want to attack Europe. It's not in their interest to attack Europe. It's in their interest to destabilize the Jews and the United States, which are the presence in the Middle East. Because if you look, there's no European countries in the Middle East. The United States, Iran, Russia, China, and the Jews have influence in the Middle East. Europe does not. There's not one European country that has any interest in the Middle East. They've lost that battle, and they are not involved in it. They've stayed out of it. And Iran does not want to get them in the middle of it.
In it.
What?
I said they don't want to get involved in it. They're a bunch of pussies. They just want to stay and let us fight their battles for them.
Well, that's what they've done since World War II. So here's
Right.
the thing, Frank, is the comment of lie to the goyim. You know, the words like this are dangerous, because I can pull up the King James and I can pull up the Old Testament, and there's some things in there that I'm not too proud of as a Christian. And we can talk about slavery. We can talk about stoning the mother and father. And we understand the Old Testament is predominantly Judaism. It's Old Hebrew. And we know the New Testament has a softer, simpler edge. But there are things in the Bible where you have to question them and go, I don't know as a Christian if this is the best representation of us who we are today. And when you look at the Talmud and you look at other things that are written in Hebrew, there are human interpretations for the word of what they say is God. And what we're doing is we're applying slight of human to what is supposed to be based from a deity. And if you look at the worst, we talked about this in church the other day, when you look at the worst parts of humanity, worst parts of religion, it's usually when there's a false prophet or somebody who is saying, I am the word of God. This is my word. I am he. And it correlates to being a bastion for the entire religion. Mm-hmm. Amy, you're shaking your head. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I just agree with you. Yes. The Bible in itself, we've had tons of discussions about the language, and there's not a lot of glamorous things in the Bible. It's pretty dark. There's
for a reason.
Yes. I agree. Yes, I'm just agreeing with you. I don't have anything to really add. It's just, yes, there's a lot of, I've read the Bible, I'm reading it again, and I'm just actually revisiting some passages that I thought were hilarious.
There's some humor in there, right? I mean, and the contradictions in the Bible, you know, it's interesting when people say God's not fallible. Yeah. I think that's a misnomer. And I could be wrong, but based on what I'm learning is that God does make mistakes. God has human quality. And I always ask the question in Job, and I asked my pastor this, I said, why does God show jealousy towards Satan? When Satan comes to the high court and challenges him, it almost seems like Jesus or God is it's about bravado. And he wants the claims that the only reason that people worship God is because they fear him. And it's a forced doctrine type of thing. And I'm like, why would God take that bait? And then why did he do that to Job? I mean, it seems like punitive for his own human petty emotions, but we forget that the Holy Trinity and Jesus was here, and Jesus was human, and Jesus learned human emotion and was with us. And I think I'm not saying God makes mistakes in the sense that giraffes' necks are too long. Well, why don't you make the tree shorter? Not that type of mistake. What I'm saying is I think God understands that fallibility does not mean somebody is not a deity. And because a person probably could, if you ask God and he was sitting right here, I can't imagine that he would be. But if he was, I would ask him the question, was there anything you've ever done that you felt you could have done better or changed if you would have done it a different way? What would God's answers be? No, everything I've done is perfect. It's the way it should be.
Yeah, I think it would be.
That's interesting. But does he understand And is he capable of failure?
I don't think so.
Do you think Job in any way, shape, or form was a failure?
No.
Why? What did Job do to deserve that?
Absolutely nothing.
That's not a mistake?
No, it was a test, a horrible one.
But
it wasn't.
But
it
why is that
God
acceptable?
didn't inflict anything on to Job. He allowed it, and Satan had to go ask permission to do these things to Job.
But it's the fact that God allowed it.
He allows tons of things. I mean, he allows horrible things to happen every single day.
But that wouldn't be a mistake.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. God works all things through the good. Like there are things that he doesn't.
Do you think he understands failure?
Of course he understands failure, but I don't think he is capable of failing.
Okay. It's interesting. And I think it's probably going to take a lot more study. But it's an interesting question. Because if you have faith, then the answer is this. Then God can make no mistakes, therefore the Jews are not a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think the Jews are a mistake.
Israel's not a mistake. And if you call yourself a holy person and you call yourself a godly person, then the Muslims, the Jews, the Houthis, the Yemenis, the Uyghurs, they're not a mistake.
Correct.
Their actions may be mistakes, but that's human error. That's not God's error.
Correct.
So they have chosen by free will to absolve themselves from the word of God or misinterpret the word of God in order for their own human nature to create sin. So it's not God's fault.
Correct.
Okay. So then Job can't be God's fault either.
No, I don't think Job is God's fault at all. Yeah.
Okay. So it's an interesting question. I mean, we're kind of breaking to a different plane in the conversation, but it's interesting because if people consistently blame the Jews for betraying Christ, well, the Jews were just doing what the Jews were supposed to do.
Correct.
It was
because if the Jews didn't betray Christ, he never would have been crucified on the cross and died for our sins.
Right.
He had to. That was the whole point. Is he
it's
had
all
to
part of the plan.
So the Jews were just doing what they were meant to do.
The Jews weren't the Jews weren't the only people who betrayed Christ. The Romans had a big heavy hand in this, folks.
I'll just give you this one little Bible tidbit.
Give it to us.
So when Adam first sinned, his punishment was thorns, right? That was what he had. He was reaping thorns. Sowing thorns. That's what his punishment was. He got nothing but thorns. And Christ died with a crown of thorns representing our sins. So Adam was the first sinner. He got thorns because of it, and Christ had a crown of our sins when he was crucified. That is why it's all part of the plan. Yes, God planned it all out. We may not get it.
So from a philosophical standpoint, but also from a spiritual standpoint, people's ire towards the Jews is, here's another thing. Do we believe in absolution?
Do I or do people?
I know you do. You're a Catholic. If you don't, you've got some serious problems. But Christians believe in absolution. Jews believe in absolution. Hell, even Muslims believe in absolution. Hindus believe in it. Buddhists believe in absolution. Everybody believes in absolution, which ultimately is to demonstrate some sort of penitence for your sins or for your transgressions, and they can be forgiven. Everybody has that. So the question is, the mire and the overall blatant hatred for Jews is ridiculous because they can be forgiven. Now, they repudiate Jesus. We understand that. But it also is foretold that they will come back to Jesus Christ, is that they will find Jesus Christ. Yes. And it's not our business to relegate aspersions and cast aspersions on them through that process. It's to help them find that word. Isn't that our job and what's relegated upon us as Christians? Yes. So I find it interesting that some of the most prolific, the whole reason why I'm coming to this conversation is because we're bringing it back to the entire group of people who are hating on Jews are doing absolutely the opposite of what Jesus says, what God says, what the word is.
Yeah. It's true.
Interesting.
But we all will have our chance to be redeemed someday.
May I make a statement?
Yeah, you sure can, Frank. I didn't forget you were there. It's been a while since
you did.
No, I didn't. I know you were there the whole time. It's on the screen. I can see it. It says Frank. Go ahead, Frank.
No, dude, I love the conversation, and in all honesty, you've maybe forgotten half of the things that I wanted to bring up. But
that's my job.
Let's start from this.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Did
Frank.
the Jews know that they were crucifying the Christ that we realize today?
No.
Did they look
No.
at him in that way?
No
way.
Yeah,
They're still waiting for their Messiah to come.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, all of the things that are going on today with not the Jewish people per se.
Kevin Bernard donated $15. MAGA, make Amy great again. Oh, she's already great. $15. Thank you, Frank. Keep going. We've got some donations we got to put in. Keep going, buddy.
We've got so many things going on right now with people fighting people who have been fighting these people for thousands of years. Why are we so arrogant as to think we can step in and make them change? They're not going to change.
We don't.
Yeah.
We're not. That's not what we're doing.
Really?
Yeah. The only way throughout history to make people change. What's the only way to make people change throughout history?
You have to change your way of thought.
How?
Indoctrination.
Oh,
Indoctrination or
what
contrition.
a great...
Indoctrination or contrition. That's the only way. It's a re-education or contrition. Contrition is killing, murdering, destroying, making them obsolete. Contrition is what stopped the Native Americans from owning this land.
Yes.
We just killed them all.
And then we put them in re-education camps.
Yep. And we forced them to the Catholics did.
Yes,
Nice job, Amy.
We did. Yeah.
Good
And
job,
we
Amy.
buried a bunch of their kids all over the country.
We whipped them and beat them into submission. So, yay! No, I'm kidding. So the
I'm
point.
not laughing at that.
No, I'm not laughing at it too. But
Catholics are awful people too.
Catholics sin, and they sin in the name of God, which is the real sin, because it's not God's wishes for them to do what they do, but they do it in the name of God. So do a lot of religions.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, the preacher that did what he did to me used God's name while he was doing it. So things are done horribly in the name of God that have nothing to do with God. So that's the first separation. The same holds true for the Jews. The Jews can say horrible things, or Israel can say horrible things, but that doesn't mean that all Israel or all Jews or Judaism believes in what's being said or done. It's being propagated by humans. To answer your question with a question is, how do you go ahead and create cultural change? The only way to do it is to influence. Honestly, there's a couple ways. One is do what the English did with prima nocta and breed it out of people, and literally sleep with every virgin bride and give them an English child. That's what they tried to do. Number 2 is indoctrination, re-education. Number 3 is contrition, or 4 is elimination and eradication of those native people on that land. That's it. There's really no other way.
I feel like now we have social contagion. I mean, you need a catchy slogan, a cool logo, and a purpose that you deem as worthy and being loud enough.
Or having a Twitter page.
That's what I mean. Like it's more of like if you can be loud enough and be seen enough,
but
you can get followers.
But that doesn't stop. That's a form of re-education, right?
Yeah.
The mass media, the education system, etc. Frank, no, we are not going in to change the culture. When you say we're trying to change the people, we're not. What we are trying to do is root out the inherent evil in those cultures that are stopping progression that has happened naturally and forcefully throughout history of tribal people or feudal people moving into innovation, economics, governance, and systematic elimination of oppression or cultural subversion or religious persecution for the greater good. That has happened naturally throughout history on multiple facets, and we can go from everything. We can start from the Tsar. We can go down to the Tongs. We can go down to the Qing dynasty. We can go down to the Mings. We can go to the nomadic people of the Gypsies or the Turks, and we can go through every country has seen progression in its culture to move out of feudal periods into more modern day societal cultural norms. We're forcing.
May I interrupt?
Yeah, after I say the last part, we are forcing by killing those groups that want to do harm to that progression. Go ahead.
We've tried to do this for the last 40 years. We've tried to go in and we've tried to change the way they think, the way they feel about the people that are around them, that they've been battling for years and years and years, and we've not been able to do it. Why are we so fucking arrogant that we think we can go in and change their minds?
Because we're not changing
and make
their minds.
them think the
we're
way
not
we
changing
think.
their minds.
This is the one thing that
we have not
understand.
done this for 40 years. We haven't done this for 3,000 years. We have never done what we're doing. The one consistent for the last 47 years, the instability in the Middle East is to blame for one major country, and that is Iran. Iran did the Iran-Iraq war. Iran went into Saudi Arabia in the Saudi Arabian war. Iran has funded 63,000 terrorist events over the last 47 years. 63,000 terroristic events. Iran is the instability in the Middle East. And surprisingly enough, the days of Jordan and UAE and Qatar and Yemen and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Libya, we would have been far gone on our way to a peaceful understanding if it wasn't for the fucking English. Because the reason why we are with Iran where we are is because of the Shah, is because of the oil consolidation of Iran taking oil off the global market and isolating themselves and allowing radical Muslims to come in by the thousand and turn into hundreds of thousands within a decade and eat and take over that country and replace the Persians with Shah, clerics, ayatollahs, and Muslim extremists. This hasn't been around in Iran as long as you believe, because Iran was very, very free. Iran was very similar to Egypt. Iran was very similar to Jordan. And although they had their issues and they had their problems, most of the society had moved towards progression and civilization, economics, governance, very similar to the Jews. Iran is the antithetical to Western civilization. They believe Western civilization should be annihilated. You cannot leave those groups of people around. Saudi Arabia has shed that. Egypt has said that. UAE, Qatar, most of these countries have shed that philosophy because they understand they all don't want to end up like Iraq. That it's better to get along than move along. Iran is staying fast and hard with that philosophy that the infidels must die. The devil, the big devil and the little devil must be eradicated from the earth. They have not moved on from this. So
yeah, you know what? I agree with you to a certain extent that the Persians have been around
Luza,
forever.
thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank, we have to put some.
Love the show, Patricia Luza, $10. Go ahead, Frank. Disagree. I want to hear it.
Well, it's not that I disagree, Matt. It's just that this is a culture that has been around forever. They're not going to give up.
It hasn't
on their idea.
Frank, I don't know why you keep saying that. It has not been around forever. The Barbary Pirates were the first example of terrorism. The Barbary Pirates. But modern day terrorism has been around about 47 years. Modern day terrorism, which is in the name of Allah, in the name of God, whatever God you have, is the killing and systematic destruction of innocent lives to force policy through force doctrine to change the course of the current most powerful countries in the world, is to fight them with fear and terror, is not old. This is fairly new. So when we say that this has been around forever, it hasn't. And we are. Go ahead.
I think what I'm trying to say is they have been fighting each other.
Yes.
Forever.
They have.
The Muslims, whatever, everybody over there. You know, they always want, if they can't get what they want, they kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they've centered on the Jews. The Jews don't want to play their game. So now they're centered on them. This is the thing I don't get, is why are we involved in their fight? let them fight their fights and let us get the fuck out of there.
Let me tell you why.
And
let me tell you why. You want to know why? I'm going to give you the 3 reasons right now of why we cannot allow this to happen. Here's number 1. Number 1 is the trade of free goods and the through fare. If we have to go ahead and cannot go through the Straits, cannot go through Suez, and we close the Middle East, it is going to add hundreds of thousands of hours and billions of dollars to overall shipping and trade. And it makes us go through some of the most dangerous areas during the winter, where we're going to have higher insurance costs, more loss, more energy consumption, and then more money on the global market. That's number 1.
I agree.
Number 2, Europe is falling. Europe is falling because of constant, never-ending wars in the Middle East is pushing immigration into Europe. This is what happened in the 1200s. This is what happened in the 1500s. This is what happens with the Romans, with the exfil of the Jews. They forced them into Europe. And what happened? Well, Germany was ran by the Jews. Go look at 1903. Who ran the country? Who ran the country in World War I? It was the Jews. It wasn't the Germans. So you are getting mass immigration, which are depopulating Europe of white, Protestant, Christian, white Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, Christian, Catholic, whatever religion you want to go ahead and put onto it, inside of Middle European men and women. And Middle Easterns are taking over Europe, which you have 3 nuclear powers that are there in that area that are being overtaken by radical Muslims. This is a fact. Unvetted, and they are losing their culture. 700 years, the royal bloodlines have been opened, that no one can serve in the monarchy without having royal lineage to Charlemagne, correct? Not anymore.
Yeah.
Because Parliament just overturned it, which means Muslims can now sit in the monarchy.
Wow.
So England is changing, and Europe is changing, and it is because of the never-ending wars and conflict in the Middle East. That's number 2. Number 3, because this is what Iran wants to do. Iran wants to kill Israel and the United States. And one nuke changes this forever. It is literally, having the airlines on the runway at Heathrow Airport or in Jerusalem or in Qatar or Saudi Arabia, where you had Iranians who had AK-47s and C4 or grenades and were holding these airlines hostage, and the United States could do nothing. So Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher said, nope, no more. We no longer negotiate with terrorists. And we said, hardline, we're going into every single plane you attack. If you bomb one of our bars, we're going to go ahead and blow up one of your frickin' cities. And we said no more. If they get a nuke, we negotiate with terrorists. The moment that they have a nuke, we are forced to negotiate with terrorists. Because they can literally flash 75,000 people in a blink. And there is no government on the planet that will not bow down to Iran if they get a nuke. Can you imagine if England and France and Italy and Germany were told, either you do what we say and attack the United States, or we're going to set off a nuke in one of your cities. We're going to blow up Paris. We're going to kill 300,000 people in a nanosecond.
What would be the repercussions of that, though?
The repercussions of what?
Of them blowing up Paris or London or Rome.
NATO getting involved and us literally getting involved in the holy ground war that is going to be apocalyptic and the end of times in the Bible. That's the result.
Yeah.
The end of times.
That's what and so what is the point? What is the point of everybody wanting to fucking kill one another? It makes no sense. I don't get it.
Dude, I don't.
Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know.
It's Frank. I'll sum it up because we have to move on. But I will tell you this: for 47 years, we have not done one thing to Iran. We have put in sanctions. We've done a lot, but we haven't hit. Carter failed miserably. We hit him on October 7th, right after October 7th. We helped and hit multiple places. We hit Fordow, Esfahan, Natanz. But the United States has not been in a proxy war with Iran, dude. We've sat by and taken their shit for 47 years. The Jews have taken it for 47 years. The Arabs have taken it for 47 years. People are fucking done. They are now the Roman Empire. They are going to fall or the world will end. Like, people are done with them, dude. Iran will fall. And it either needs to fall or they continue to do exactly what they're doing until they get a nuke. I don't know what else to say.
What's it going to take to put an end to it?
Kill every single person that wants to shout death to America.
Yeah, what we're doing right now.
Kill every single one of them. Anytime somebody stands up and says death to America, we murder them, their family, their children, anyone who is with them. Everyone dies. That's what happens.
So what you're saying is we just nuke Iran.
Nope. We kill every single person who shouts death to America, because it's not the people who are shouting death to America. It's the Shah, the mullahs, the Ayatollah, the IRGC. And we are killing every single one of them until we get the answer that we want, which is we will work with you, United States. We will sign anything you want as far as proliferation. We want to be on the economic planes. We want to enter the trade. We want to stop attacking. We want to stop the militant behavior. We want to stop the terrorist activity, and we're going to sign whatever it takes to do that, and we're going to sign any type of treaty you want. That's what we want. And until we get it, we continue to kill every single one of them until we get it. That's the answer.
Well, I agree with you, Matt. I don't think that's their frame of mind. I think they will go to the end. They will do whatever they have to do, and if they all have to die, then they all have to die and get their 72 virgins.
Yeah, the Persians don't believe that. The 67% of the people in Iran, they don't believe that. There is 3% of the population believes what you're saying. And that's like saying everyone in Russia wants to kill the United States. That's not true. There is a group of people, hardliners in Russia, who believe Russia should nuke the United States. That's not what Putin thinks. That's not what the parliament thinks. That's not what the ministry thinks. There's a lot of people who think certain things, but that doesn't mean that they believe it. There's people in Yemen who want to destroy the United States, but this is a very small percentage of the power elite class, the radicals in Iran, that want to kill us. They all need to die.
I agree.
That's it.
And I'm going to go one more step, and then I'm out of here.
All right, good.
If we were smart, we would ally with Russia and just take over everything, and everything would be good, because we are the two most powerful, whatever you want to call it. If we did that, it would be so good. But I know it's never going to happen, and I know you probably don't agree with me.
Nope, not at all. Not in the slightest, my brother, but that's okay. That's okay.
And that's all right. I respect that, but it's just what I think. Is the two strongest powers united?
Russia's not the strongest power. Russia's weak. They're insignificant on the world stage. The two strongest powers in the world right now are China and the United States, period. There is no third and fourth. There's nobody else. Russia is a paper tiger.
How do you see that working out?
Russia, 20 years in geopolitics, and it used to be my AOR.
With China and the United States, I don't see that happening.
I don't see China and the United States either. They'll never come together, but they also won't be at war. This is an economic battle. I would rather go ahead and do this economic battle with China. And they may expand territories. They may go into Taiwan, but it'll be economic means. It's not going to be for global domination. Russia wants one thing: to expand into Europe. Russia can't even take Ukraine, dude. Russia is a joke. It's a joke. I'm not fearful of Russia. I'm more scared of Iran than I am Russia.
You'd think by now Russia would have taken over Ukraine and this whole thing would have been over.
I told you they wouldn't. I told you they wouldn't. I said I was the only person that I know of in a conservative voice who said that Ukraine would stand indefinitely as long as we ran proxy and gave them weapons. And look at what, I'm right 3 years later. Even Leroy has admitted that he was wrong. I said Ukraine is like these are my exact words. Amy was here. It's like a grandmother on top of a mountain wielding brooms. she will hold it indefinitely against any opposing army, and that is Ukraine. It is narrow. It is difficult to traverse. It is boggy, and it has roadways coming in and out. But Russia is bad at one thing, logistics, and they can't move a mechanized infantry to save their life. And they learned that in World War II as the Germans murdered 20 million of them as they were trying to move into Germany. They're ineffective at mechanized infantry, and that's what you need in Ukraine. And they're getting their asses kicked, and they will be getting their asses kicked for the rest of their lives. This is their Vietnam.
It's a shame they didn't learn that.
Well, we did it. I love you. I got to go.
Thanks, Frank.
I got to go, Frankie.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank.
And I'm sorry I chewed up so much of your time.
No. You know what? I don't care. I love this. I appreciate you.
I appreciate everything you said. Amy, I love you.
I love you too, Frank.
Don't use the Goyim thing. That's just...
I'm sorry,
don't
dude.
Use the Goyim
it was
thing.
just...
I know. But you're better than that. You're better than that. Don't do... That's what Nick Fuentes and the Groypers say. Goyim. Don't do that. You're better than that. You're better than that. I love you. Gotta go.
Love you too.
All right, man.
Bye, Frank.
Okay. Good. The numbers are solid. People enjoyed the conversation. But unfortunately, we didn't get my good friends to my left and right in here. So we're going to do that now. And Amy, I've been doing very well on that. Mike Roch via snail mail 1234. Go ahead, Libby.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Minnesota fraud scandal. Let's get the ladies involved in this. Here we go.
And a Fox News alert also in Minnesota. The
Maybe
convicted ringleader of one of the state's biggest fraud schemes is speaking to Fox News from behind bars.
I'm sorry.
She believes that the
It was
scam
going
was
okay.
no surprise to local
Help.
Democratic leaders. And she's naming names. She spoke to Alexis McAdams.
All right, we're going to go to this one instead. So this is a Democrat who was claiming racial things were holding her back in her state. Take a listen if we can hear this. We're not having a lot of luck with audio right now. All right, we're moving to the next one. BLM.
Here's what else we are monitoring.
Okay, we got audio on this one, but we don't have Amy. Liv, I don't want to do this anymore. Everything was fine. It's Frank's fault.
Frank, it's all your fault.
Damn it, Frank. Here we go.
This hour, here's what else we are monitoring. The Louisiana Supreme Court suspends the law license of a lawyer, Tanzania Ruffin. This after she was federally indicted this month. She is accused.
All right, Tanzania Ruffin is her name. I can't make this up. It's one of these nights, Liv. I need help.
It is.
Tanzania Ruffin in Louisiana. She's a defense attorney. She has had relationships with BLM, and her license is suspended. Here is the video.
Of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from a client she represented for a battery case in Orleans Parish last year. Federal prosecutors charged her with a count of wire fraud. Ruffin's lawyer contends she paid the more than $250,000 she's accused of stealing, and she paid that back. She will enter a plea in the case next week. The Supreme Court says Ruffin is barred from practicing law until further notice.
BLM.
Yes, she should be.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, the question is BLM. We've just had these No Kings protests, 3 days, or third time's a charm. Here's the good news. The protest was successful. We don't have a king.
Yeah.
So what they achieved on the first, second, and now third time, it was the charm. There are no kings in the United States, which we're very excited about. Let's all.
Yay.
Yeah, congratulations.
Very exciting. A lot of work.
Yep.
BLM, this is now millions upon millions of dollars has been raised, and BLM has done absolutely. Can we get a human in here, like a kid, and find out what the dog's eating?
Ethan! It's Monday.
Can you get the dog puppy and find out what she's eating, please? Okay, moving on to the next video because I can't do any. I can't do any of this. It's horrible. Oh my God, where's Amy? I thought we fixed all these.
Here. I thought you did.
I can't hear any of these.
If Caitlin
Bob
Clark could
Costas
play in the NBA, everybody would applaud it. That'd be an incredible thing.
Show's on meltdown. Ethan, get the dog out of here. Okay. Are we ready now?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Can we do this?
Yes.
Okay, here comes the show. We're going to have it for real. Frank, don't ever call in again. No, I'm kidding. Bob Costas on trans athletes. I don't know what's wrong with our slides, but These were the ones from the other night. They're not working. So we're going to go into Bob Costas. Ladies, feast. Enjoy.
But if the last guy on the bench of an NBA team went to the WNBA and started averaging 40 points a game, everyone would know that is BS. There's a reason why Sugar Ray Leonard, who was a contemporary of Mike Tyson, didn't fight Mike Tyson. They were in different weight classes.
Mello, welcome back, Amy R. Happy Easter. Thank you, Mel.
Happy Easter, Mel. Thank you.
Sports, and why Title IX was one of the truly progressive pieces of legislation in the best sense of the word progressive under the Nixon administration. It changed everything. I had a sister who never played a single organized sport. One generation later, 2 children of my own. My daughter played just about as many organized sports as my son. That's a great thing. It doesn't make any sense to have a swimmer who was the 472nd ranked swimmer when he was a man at Penn, either winning or coming close to winning against women a year and a half after transitioning. If that's what the person wants to do, that person should be treated with dignity and respect. But there ought to be common sense, and common sense is not transphobic.
And this policy is common sense.
Yes, this policy, the way.
Should we treat people who are transgender? Go ahead, Liv.
This one is CJ Jenkins. Hi, Amy. So glad you are back. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, CJ.
Thanks, Siege. Should we treat transgender people with dignity and respect? That's the. Can we do?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Can we do the Overton window here?
Yes.
Because the Overton window says we have to talk about this and say immediately, "Oh yes, like let's ring the bell." Transgender people need respect. Do they? Really?
If they
do they really?
are...
Hold on. Do they really deserve respect? Would you respect somebody who is screaming up and down in a bus and talking to a pillar of quartz and he's a frog?
No.
Would you respect and honor somebody who was a thief and embezzled millions of dollars from old folks?
No.
Okay. So should we respect and honor people with mass delusion? Go ahead.
It depends, because if this person can act like a normal person, then yes. If this person can come up and say, "Hi, my name's so-and-so. How are you?" Yes. But if this person comes up and goes, "Hi, my name's Jen. It used to be Jim. My pronouns are he, her, she, and it. And I'm trans and you need to respect me." No, you don't deserve respect.
Amy?
If they're going to show their delusion on me, no. But if they could be a normal person, yes.
What's a normal person?
A normal person, someone who acts decent in society.
Like a man acts like a man and a woman acts like a woman. Decent. Normal. So this is what I'm talking about, the Overton window. They're not normal.
Right. Can I just chime in? I want to go back to the old definition, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I still feel like it's a mental illness. It is a psychological problem. It was treated as a mental disturbance, and up until 5 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yes, can I treat people who have mental handicaps with respect? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean they get a pardon. They don't get to behave in any way they see fit. We're not going to bend into their delusions.
Respect. Let's look up the word respect.
Okay.
Let's listen to the word respect versus compassion.
Okay.
See, I can have can you have compassion for a pedophile?
No. I don't think so.
No. Can you have compassion for a homicidal maniac?
No.
Can you have compassion for a person who beats up their dog?
No.
Okay. Do we consider that a mental illness for those three things?
Yes.
Okay, so mental stability has nothing to do with respect then. Because if you're forgiving someone for having delusion that they think that they have a dick when they're a chick, then you should have no respect for people who are pedophiles or murderers, because they all suffer from some sort of delusion too. So it's not delusion where we should demonstrate respect. We should demonstrate respect because they're human beings, right?
Yes.
What's the definition of respect?
Respect is recognizing someone's value and treating them with the basic decency even when you disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with them at all. They're wrong. There's no disagreement.
There is no disagreement.
You're not a guy. You're not a girl. You're if you think you're a woman and you're a man, I'm not disagreeing with you. You're wrong.
Yes.
And your problem is that you're nuts and you can't agree with me because you don't understand the basics of biology, whether it's gender or sex. Both are absolutely aligned with male and female binary choices. Because here's the question. When I ask you, from a sex, what are the two sexes on the planet?
Male and female.
There's no question, even with transgender people. But when
Right.
you say gender, it's a social construct.
Right.
Well, how many genders are there?
I think there's like 40 something.
But they
now.
don't say that, do they?
I thought it was like 67.
There's male, there's female, and then there's non-binary. And it's like, no, there's not. That's you not wanting to say that 67 genders is absolutely insane. And you are creating a social construct, but your social construct is a hell of a lot more complicated, and mine's a lot more simple.
Yeah.
Should they be treated with respect? That's the question. Now look up compassion.
Well, I would say like Liv said, it depends on how their behavior is. Are they being respectful towards other people? I mean, there's a trans person who works in our community and they've been working at the same place forever, and they're respectful to me. I'm respectful to them.
Do they use women's bathroom?
I have no idea. I've never been to the bathroom. I have no idea. Never asked them.
There's a trans person at Hayden School, and we've met this person. And this person is very nice and kind. They've been to our house for dinner.
Yep.
They use, when it comes to locker rooms and the bathroom, they use whatever the bathroom is that's a
They were
single
assigned at
bathroom.
birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They use because the high school has bathrooms that is a single bathroom on each floor, and it's not for girls or boys. Anyone can use it. They use that one,
Right.
even to change for PE. So they're being respectful. Oh my gosh, Kat. So
So?
they're being respectful of other people, and this person.
Wait, they're using the opposite locker room than they're supposed to?
No, they're using to change for PE or anything. They're using this one single
Ban Daniel
bathroom.
Way, please.
Yes,
I'm
they're
sick of him
using this
spamming us.
one single bathroom. They're not using the locker rooms. They're not using the girls or boys
Honey,
bathroom.
Are they a boy?
They were born a boy. Yes.
Olivia?
Yes, they're a boy.
Don't do that. Please don't be a liberal.
Yes, they're born.
Are they a boy?
Yes.
Okay. Are they using boys' restrooms?
No.
Okay, then I don't respect them. Because they don't respect other people. You have to demonstrate respect to receive respect. Is this not true?
Yes.
How can you respect somebody that's using a restroom or a changing room with our daughter who's a boy?
She's not.
He.
Wait. I said they're using a single bathroom.
Will you stop using pronouns and saying they?
Sorry.
I literally cannot decipher what you're saying. It's so stupid when people talk like this. Not you. When liberals talk like this, I just check out of the conversation. We're like, they. No, stop it. He or she.
Okay.
I want to know what they are, not what they want to be.
Okay.
What are they?
He.
He's a boy.
Yes.
Is he using the girls' locker room?
No.
I just asked that.
No, I said he is using the single bathroom on the floor that he is at. He's not using the locker room.
Where's he changing?
In that bathroom.
Okay. So he is respecting by changing outside of where girls are.
Yes.
Great. Perfect.
That's what I was trying to go for.
Can we move the cat?
Yes.
I'm going to shoot every animal. just like
push her down.
So does that deserve respect?
He's respecting not to go in the girls' room.
Right.
So I can respect that he's going to use the single bathroom. I don't care about that. Sure.
Right. So that's my point. Is respect is earned, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we can be compassionate. What was the definition of compassion? I mean, I have the definition. I just want to get a basis here for the conversation.
Compassion is recognizing someone's suffering and having the desire to help or ease it.
That's where I'm at with transgender people. It's almost empathy, which is bad, because I think it's suicidal empathy, which we've talked about. I don't know if you were here when we talked about it. Suicidal empathy is when you ignore a problem so much that it winds up hurting you.
Yeah.
And it winds up destroying society.
Well, I think that we're seeing a lot of evidence of that happen right now. This is not new. The last year and a half, 2 years, we've seen this evidenced by people coming forward and saying, no, I should not have been given these hormones. I should have not been, leaned into with my delusions. And I regret my parents forcing me to take these hormones, and the doctors not advocating for me as a person to just go through puberty and let me live my life.
Let me add, testosterone replacement therapy. I've told everybody I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys understand how difficult it is for me to go through it? But I found out for a transgender person how easy it is for them to go through it.
Right.
It is unbelievable the stuff I have to go through to get TRT, but somebody else who's transitioning, the process is fairly simplistic. The regulations and restrictions on mine is every 6 months. I got to get new blood tests. I got to go through the process, multiple tests, multiple.
I'm sorry.
No, that's just why we don't let the animals in the room. Everyone goes, why don't you ever let the animals in the room? Because this is why. Because we try to do a show. And it's not you. I love it. It's the guests that are here who are like when, who was it? Philip was here?
Yeah.
The cat would not leave him alone. I think it's great. I don't mind the animals in the room. I think it's great. Yenny is different because I don't want to see her ass. I don't pay for these cameras to literally show her bumhole the whole show.
She's got a nice butthole.
That's right. I just think that there is a double standard here. And the longer that we pretend that this is normal and we put the Overton window ahead of truth, Overton window being is these are taboo topics that are not discussed in the mass because it's inappropriate to discuss about them. For instance, biracial marriage. Couldn't bring that up in the 1950s and 1960s. Right, yeah. That's the Overton window.
Yeah.
It's things that you don't talk about. Abortion at the dinner table.
Well, I think people do still talk about that, but I think I don't think it's the white community that talks about biracial marriage now. I've only see videos with blacks who are not comfortable, and usually it's like women who are very upset by black men who are marrying white women. So I do think it is still talked about. It's just not the way it used to be talked about.
No, I agree. It's acceptable to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Overton windows. You can't talk about it. Like COVID. We couldn't talk about COVID in 2019 to 2000.
Say the word, yeah.
If you even said the word, our show got banned.
Yes.
That's outside the Overton. Do you have to go?
Yeah. No.
I'm just checking because I'm making sure you're okay. Oh, you're getting notifications.
Yes.
It's really weird with tonight. Like the slides not working. We changed all the freaking slides and they were perfect.
Did you go back and change the ones that were already loaded from the night before?
Yeah.
Oh,
obviously not. But at least I thought I did. Yeah. All right. Well, the reason I ask this is because just because I say something doesn't mean that it's true.
Right.
In the sense of asking questions. Like we were driving to Michael's yesterday. And this is an interesting conversation for the panel really quick.
Thank
Charity
you,
Lamb.
Thank
you, Charity. $10. Is my comment was, why do women need to vote? Why do you need to vote? Because here's my argument, is forced doctrine.
Yes.
Is that you never used to have to vote. Never got to vote. You also didn't have credit cards.
Correct.
Because you didn't have jobs.
Correct.
And the man had the job. And you relegated safety, security, and to be provided for to men. And men did that job. Women had babies. They stayed home. They took care of the house. And men went out and worked. They got stressed. They got money. And they got the credit cards. And if you needed money, you went to your husband and said, hey, I need money. And you got money. And that was it. Now, you can say that women are happier now because they can vote and women can go get jobs and be as stressful as men and handle their own money. But my point is why would anyone who go to men for protection, safety, and security predominantly, if you need cops, you want a male to show up. Don't tell me you want a female cop. That's a lie. When you have a military person go fight your war, you want men fighting it.
Yes.
We know the truth, okay? When you have someone flying your plane, you want a man flying your plane. We know when you're driving in an Uber, you want a man driving your car. We know that safety, security, and those type of things, we would rather have men do it, and that's why, because ultimately men are better at those things and they're programmed to do so. It's not, and the reason I can say this is because no group of women on any planet in any time of society have overthrown their government. During feminism, when you guys did first and second wave feminism, you were appealing to men.
Yeah.
You went to men. Roe v. Wade was men who decided it. It's not women. It never is, and it never will be. There is a patriarchal society that we have here in the United States, and thank God for it. Because if men wanted to, they could take over women and put them in enslavement like that. Like that. What are you going to do? Are you going to go get men to fight your war? Yeah. But plenty of places on earth, women are subjugated to being inferior. And thank God we have a country where the men here predominantly respect women and love and adore women. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So why do you need to vote?
I would prefer to go back before the 60s.
See, I agree, because those were some of the happiest times for families and people. And now...
Well, I mean, and I feel like I'm an outlier too, right? If I take my own personal experience and apply that to my true feelings about the situation, no, I would never want to be trapped like I was. And that was even in modern day times, right?
Totally different.
So,
yes,
right,
I agree.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like that's an outlier, and it's more prevalent today, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just more talked about today in society. I'm not sure. I don't know the stats on this, but I'm just totally speculating. But I would love to go back to a time where I just have to freaking take care of the house, and I have a little credit at the local market, and they just put everything on my husband's tab, and he pays it once a month, and I just like cook a roast and, you know, clean the floors and make sure that the kids are like where they need to be. And that is my dream. I don't want to vote. I don't want to think about all those things. I don't want to have to think about it. I just want to like be a woman and like take care of my kids.
It was so crazy. Hayden was like, I can't believe you're saying this. I have a right. I said, hold on a second. I didn't say you don't have a right to an opinion. I said your power of voting is an illusion, because women vote on emotion. Men vote on logic. That's just the way it is. Otherwise, we would never see Hillary Clinton and Kamala. Women vote. They are voting against Trump. They're not voting for policy.
Yeah.
And women are ruining
everything.
Let's be honest. They really are. They make bad decisions. They root for sports teams based on their uniforms, not the quality of their players or the team or their location.
Sometimes it's their logo or their mascot.
Exactly. Their mascot or their logo. But it's not sexist. It comes down to, has feminism created more problems for society, as our society should be the following: get married, have children, provide, have monogamous relationships, sexually transmitted disease are a thing of the past. You have multiple children, you produce to the economy, you grow the economy, you give to the GNP, you're a taxpayer, you're able-bodied, you go to church, you get your house. Yeah. Why is the right to vote so incredibly important to women when ultimately it's an appeal to authority anyway? Because those votes really mean nothing. Yeah. They really don't. They don't mean anything, because in the end, all it takes is men to say, you know what? You don't have any rights anymore. It's that simple.
It's so true. I'm for this. And even at the No Kings protest that we drove through, which was maybe 100 people, it was just comical.
But hold on.
It was all women.
Look at what Hip Chick said. Hip says, not totally true, Matt. Hold on. Most conservative women, Mike Lee, vote based on policies and common sense. You vote what your husband votes. Most conservative women always, because they are unified. You're a team. You're partners. Mm-hmm. You vote together. And that's why I'm trying to say, why is it so damn important? Why can't we just say, let the men take care of the voting?
Correct.
Because, and women take care of the things that they need: nurturing, raising the family, having the children, being the matriarch, being the influence, being the voice of reason, being the emotional stability of the household. All of those things are good. Let the men deal with the logic, because women don't.
Well, let me chime in, because it goes back to, yes, men gave us the right to vote. They voted for us to be able to do this. Those are the men that are the problem that we don't need leading us, because we don't have a lot of men in our country that we can depend on to lead us at this juncture. In this
not bad either.
Climate, we don't. I'm very lucky. I completely trust Jason to lead me. I don't agree with everything he says, but yes, when it comes down to it, most of the time,
he will always vote in your best interest.
That, and he's usually right with the grand scheme of things. I may not see it in the narrow because I am emotional. I'm like, well, this is my feelings on this, and
we're like, we don't care.
Exactly. He's like, I don't care. Here's why it's better, and here's why you're wrong. And he doesn't say it in a mean, negative way. It's just, But I trust him, and I can trust, and I do depend on him. If I had a problem, he's going to be there for me. But that's not all men, and I don't even think it's the majority of men right now in our country. They're just wimps. And
liberal women vote in opposition of the people that they love and use it as a point of feminism. Conservative women don't. I'm not saying that all conservatives go, you know what, I'm voting for Trump, I'm going to vote for this person. But they will have a conversation about it, and most often go with what's best for the family and go with what the man says. Mel, and then Olivia, because I know Olivia wants to get on this because she had some opinions on this. So Mel, go ahead. You want to call in? I'm outnumbered here. I love this.
Yeah, you are outnumbered. And I agree with quite a few of Amy's points, but there are a whole lot more single females out there nowadays, and a whole lot more wimpy guys out there these days. So I don't want my vote, doesn't matter what country I live in.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want that. I don't want it taken away from me because
I agree.
I can't trust the societal bullshit that's going on these days because they don't have the same values of what you just expound that yes, you know, you're supposed to look after your family, your wife, whatever. That's out of the question now these days. So no, I don't want my vote taken away.
But listen to me. I didn't say your vote should be taken away. What my point was is, wouldn't society be better? We wouldn't have weak and frail men who are relegated to being the women in relationships. We wouldn't have a bunch of single women. Men would have jobs. We wouldn't have job shortages. Jobs would be able to be filled. They would be higher paying. Women can stay home. We would have more income in the home. What I'm saying is, no, I don't want your right to vote taken away. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is why do we feel the necessity to vote? And it comes down to even credit cards, and it's jobs, and it's all of this. Why do we feel that we are searching for something that is unattainable? Because women know, how, no matter what you want to say, even if you can't have kids, every woman understands nesting. Every woman understands what it's wants to be married, or not that they all want the same things, but our genetic disposition at one point was and always was to have children, kids to go, men to go procreate and go out there and spread the seed, and women to have children and raise and rear their children. At some point, we have now moved off our genetic disposition and replaced it with societal, like, perversion of doing. It's good to be the opposite of what we are naturally designed to do. That's my point.
Yep. Okay.
Liv?
Okay. Well, back in the 70s.
Mel, hold on. Let Liv go and then chime in again. I want everyone in on this. Go, Liv.
So, I mean, I can see points on everyone. So, for Amy's point, going back to it was before the 60s and the whole whatever third wave of feminism where women wanted to be in the job market, blah, blah, blah. Yes, life would have been much easier. I was a stay-at-home mom, and the amount of women who hated me because I was a stay-at-home mom was astounding. Wow. I mean, I was looked at like I was a second-class citizen. I remember when we were...
Well, that's because you're Mexican.
Yeah. When we were filling out paperwork for our home loan in Texas, and we were on the phone.
Yes.
And it was a woman, and we were on the phone with the loan person. And this person has to be in charge of your loan the entire process, which is like a 45-day process. And when it got down to, you know, the basic questions of blah, 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 you know, what is your job? And I said, well, I'm a homemaker. And she goes, no, a real job. What do you do?
Yeah, this is true.
And I said,
I lit her up.
Stay home and I take care of my kids. And then Matt jumped in and holy cow. And then we got a new person.
Team.
She wouldn't deal with us anymore. I said, I'm not dealing with you.
I said, how dare you?
Exactly.
Do you know what my wife does? Do you understand the level of work? And this woman hasn't taken a day off in 7 years.
And I can tell you, being a stay-at-home mom was the hardest job I've ever had. And here I go, going back to doing it, being a nanny. But
Elizabeth, I never said women always think about having babies, have sex. I didn't say that. I said it's your genetic disposition to do so. Yes. I didn't say that it's your want. That is the problem. Our wants now overrule what is needed.
Yeah, I know a lot of women who don't want babies.
Go ahead.
I can understand the emotional side of what you're saying as far as women, because I don't want a woman president. And honestly,
Nobody
I don't
does.
think women should be in politics. And the reason being is you're saying we are emotional creatures. Because most women in politics, especially if you're president, have got to be over a certain age, which that age is close to menopause.
Yeah.
I'm going through menopause right now, and I'm freaking insane some days. And I don't even,
It's so true.
I don't even realize I'm doing it until after the fact. And then I'm like, that was so not me. Holy cow. So I don't want someone running my country that is like that.
I love this conversation. I wanted to keep going, so I'm going to give it to Mel, then I'm going to give it to Amy. I'm going to say one thing about this. Is people are like, men aren't emotional. Men are single-handedly the most well-disciplined, emotionally consistent, and self-restraining entity ever in the existence of this planet. And I'll tell you why. Because if men were not capable of being in charge of their emotions, there wouldn't be a woman left on this planet. If men we are in a constant state of ready to snap. That is our emotional creed. We are in a protective state. We are hunters and gatherers. We are defensive. We curb our emotions constantly. We want to beat the shit out of a lot of people. And we want to grab that clerk. We want to go ahead and tell that cop to F off. We are constantly restraining and refraining from allowing our emotional violence from escaping. And I can say this in arguments. Women want to yell and scream and maybe throw something. Men want to hit. We may not want to hit women. We don't want to hurt women. But our first reaction is to fight. This is how we are raised. This is how we are brought up. And we have to control and restrain and refrain always. There's a level of temperance that men have that I don't think women respect, that we are just as emotional. We just know how to keep it in check. That may not be what anyone likes to hear, but every man who's watching knows exactly what I'm talking about. They're like, yep, I guarantee there's not one man who's going to disagree with me right now because they know we're in a constant state of flux. Mel, then Amy.
Well, I'm going to go back to the 50s when my parents were in the flux of having kids and whatever. And my mom was one of the only working females in our neighborhood, and she got ostracized because she didn't get to stay home. And my brother and I became latchkey kids, which we turned out absolutely fabulous.
You sure did.
But the perception was at the time in the 50s, 60s was, well, women don't work. And it was like, Mom's like, but I have to, because we have to pay the mortgage and we have to do whatever. You have to do what you have to do. So to say that not to have a vote or not to have whatever, so progress, whatever. So in my first marriage, I married a guy who thought that he could spend every nickel and dime, like whatever, and put us so far behind whatever, and didn't matter what I said or did or whatever to stop him from doing whatever. It didn't work. Didn't have a clue. And now I have 2 kids, and I'm like, really? And we're so far in debt. Like, so there are arguments on both sides of the whatever, but
sure,
I'm
there's
thinking
exceptions.
There's
exceptions for sure.
My side of the kind of the fence going, yeah, you guys may think you're all hunters and gatherers, but I'll guarantee you there's a whole bunch of you that aren't.
No, I'm aware of that. That is a societal critique. I am talking from a state of tribal communal value. I'm not talking from statistics. Okay, I'm not saying every guy is.
My dad would have gone to the wall and done whatever, and he did what he could do, but it involved also having his spouse to participate, whatever. So it's a congenial thing. It's a
yes.
You have to. It's a competitive. You have to be a group. You have to be a simpatico group, like whatever. It's not just rah, 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 hammer.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
It's on your. Yeah. So no.
I am more feminist than most feminists because I believe women are beautiful and passionate and absolutely essential to make men effective at being men, and we make women effective at being women. And without each other, we are lesser of creatures. We're lesser.
Yeah.
My wife, there's times I'm just like, but that's me. If anyone, even in the worst fight, if we were in the middle of a fight and somebody walked in and disrespected her, my anger and angst would turn from her and go right to that person and go, don't you ever speak to my wife. And that only I can do that, you son of a bitch. But my point is it's not sexist to say, I think, Mel, you're making my point, is that society has degraded so far from our coding and our overall disposition and genetic dispositions that we are resistant to what we are supposed to be by being what we are not. And it has created weak men, and it has created bitter and jaded women. And we have left what we are, which is, it used to be we go into a bar or go into a church and we would see the opposite sex, and we were like, we were in regale. We were excited and butterflies and smile, and now we detest and we don't want to answer the door. We don't want people calling us. We've become recluse, and we are fighting our nature, is what I'm saying. Not but that I'm making an argument that women can't vote.
But this degradation has been going on for a really, really long time.
Since the 70s
and whatever.
Since the 70s.
I would have loved to have stayed home with my kids and been that parent and whatever, and and not joined the military and seen the world, and I would have killed myself because that was my dream. But my dream was not going to be recognized because I had a responsibility to my kids. So
yeah, but you going in the military didn't degrade you from being a woman. You weren't speaking. That's what I'm saying. You're like, there's a lot of single women. Those single women are there by choice. They're not condemning men. They're not condemning the nuclear family. They're saying, listen, I just don't want to be married and have kids. That's very different than saying men and kids and marriage is the problem. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, no, and that's very true. But no, I had kids. I love my kids. And my kids have turned out very well. But I also go back to the thought when I first got pregnant and went, okay, well, my dreams are now in the toilet because my responsibility is to the familiar, whatever, and it's to raise the kids.
Yeah.
So there is that thing that's going on in the female head going, and even my mom, who's 93, says the same thing. She says, I always wanted to be an anthropologist. I wanted to go and do whatever. But because, circumstances and blah, whatever, she didn't get to finish university and continue like whatever because the family came into the perspective. So you have to come back to the female thought process that we're all not. Yes, we all want to be the family, and that should be the drive, whatever. But you also have to think that each of the girls also have dreams too. And,
that's not what I'm saying. But that's not what I'm. But that's a whole nother conversation.
I know.
Mel.
I know that's not what you're saying.
Not at all. Like, if you want to be single, be single. But you don't need to destroy the family unit in the effort. I know. That's all. I'm agreeing with you. Everything you're saying is true. I don't think every woman should have kids. I don't think every man should be the protector. What I'm saying is don't poison the well water and don't destroy society because you don't get to do everything you want to do.
Well, no.
That's my point. I got to turn it over to Amy. Mel, I got to turn it over to Amy. Hold on. Amy, go, and then Mel will get last word. Amy, go.
I'm still standing by what I said. I wouldn't do that in today's climate just because of what I was saying. I don't think the men could actually support us the way that we would want to be supported as women. And I have a daughter. I would never encourage her to not follow her dreams or to get a higher education. I want her to be successful on her own. And if she chooses to be a stay-at-home mom, which I hope she does, I think that'd be wonderful. My son, I told him he needs to be the sole breadwinner. Like, he needs to be the man of his household. He should not expect his wife to work. But it's a little bit of a double standard, but I want my kids to have traditional roles if that's what they choose to have.
Correct.
Yeah, no, awesome, Amy. Yeah.
Donna Lewis says, late 50s, 60s, my dad, my mom quit her civilian military job to raise their firstborn son. Me and my youngest brother, she never truly worked again, and she only finished raising us. She worked at the church watching over babies on Sundays and Wednesdays. The point is, things were so much better when it was done this way. Yeah. Here's the funny thing, guys, is I told Olivia she needed to get a job. She wanted to stay home and raise babies and cook and clean. And I said, I will give you that, but we can't do it right now. You need to give me 2 years and I will let you will never work again. And guess what? Did I keep my promise? Yep. Because we talked about it.
I only went back to work because I was bored.
Right.
Because Ethan was in school all day and I was like, okay, I need to do something.
At no time did she go, I blame you, when she's the one who wanted kids. Mm-hmm. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to Greece and Scotland. She wanted to have kids, so we had kids instead. My point is that I am saying autonomy isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I think the duality of relationships are so very significant for what people seek, and they just don't know it. And they give up on love, they give up on life, they give up on marriage, they give up on their dreams, and they go, I need to go do this instead, and I need to tear it down around me in order to do it. And I think that's a big mistake. Mel, you got 30 seconds for last word. I love the conversation. Great contributions. 30 seconds.
Nope. And what you just said is totally true, but your original whatever and why I called was to say that women shouldn't have a vote and not have a say in society these days. I think that was misconstrued. Like, I really like suffrage. We have a voice.
Yeah.
So whether it's
you had a voice then,
positive,
Mel. You had a voice then.
All get to have a voice.
Mel, you had a voice then. How did you get it changed?
You nagged your husband.
No, you had a voice that. Listen, I always understand when women knows. I never had a voice. Yes, you did. Or you would
I
still
didn't
not
have a voice in two of my marriages. So.
No, that's different. That has nothing to do with the law. That has nothing to do with suffrage. That is an independent of this. That is a son of a bitch who does not deserve to take the air that he breathes. And I wish I would have known you then, because I would have knocked his dick in the dirt, and I probably would have married you because I think you're great. But here's the thing, Mel.
That's called robbing the cradle.
Hold on a second. Let me finish my thought.
I'm just saying that.
I know what you're saying. Let me finish my thought real quick. You intrigued me with a great point in your last 30 seconds to expand this. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is people are like, we never had a voice. Yes, you did, or you wouldn't have the 19th Amendment. You wouldn't have equal rights. You wouldn't be able to get credit cards. You wouldn't be able to vote. These things changed because you made an appeal to men. That's just the truth of it. What is the patriarchal society? What is government? It's ran by men. It's not women. Women are less than 10% of politicians in the U.S. government. It's an appeal to men. And Roe v. Wade was an appeal to men. Women have always had a voice. What they don't want is have to go through men to get what they want. That's the problem. And that is what feminism is. It's removing men from the equation. It's destroying the patriarch in order to call it empowerment. And I think that is questionable whether it was good for society or not. Because now you've got people who are like, I'm a woman. It's like, you're a dude and you got a dick. And now it's reversal. Feminism is dead. You have liberals saying that if you put on lipstick and put on a dress, you are now the epitome of a woman. Everything about you is feminine. And I'm like, are you the people who burned your bras? Because now feminist is dangerous. It actually hates women. Mel, that's all I got.
Exactly. But the pendulum always swings to the far or whatever and goes whatever. Mm-hmm. It will come back to the middle.
Yeah, it will.
Because
it has to.
People are not as stupid or whatever, unobtuse.
They get sick of it. They get sick of it.
Everybody thinks we are. No, it will come back to the middle. And I guarantee the middle of all of this is not the guy wearing the dress going, I'm a woman. Because I guarantee you 99% of the women are going, no, you're not. And stop trying to take her stop trying to take our personality.
I
Stop trying to steal us.
I love you, Mel, and I love your mind even more, and you're the best, and I love it when you call in. Thank you, sister.
Thanks, Mel.
Love you.
I love you guys.
Let's see you, buddy. Bye.
Cheers.
Matt should write a book on this topic. You know what? I'm really considering it because I don't. $199.692. Isaac Castillo, $25. Remember A League of Their Own? Why not have a trans league? Well, it goes into the need to be seen as a certain way. They won't accept fitting into a new category, yet expect us to make concessions. Nobody watches female sports. What makes them think they're going to watch pretend female sports?
Good point.
You know what I mean? So these are great. This is what this show should be about. It should be about conversations like this. These are challenging conversations, and it's not sexist. This is the Overton window. It doesn't make me a sexist to question the 19th Amendment.
Yeah.
I question the 3/5 compromise as people saying it was racist. I don't see it that way. I see it completely different than that. It doesn't make me a racist. It makes me a person who looks at something and says, I've got questions. Here's why this entire conversation came up. Watch this. Tell me what you think. Oh, call it out, Livy.
Brenda Shepard, enjoying my coffee. Glad you're enjoying your coffee.
Oh, Brenda. Loving that coffee. Remember, we've got a bunch of coffee. You guys can go pick some up. Here is the video I wanted you to watch. This one's going to tick you guys off. This really stokes the conversation we were just having.
Harris, my point is, I do think that Donald Trump...
And I love my cat. Don't get me wrong. I built the set so the cat could come up on the table. That was one of the reasons we did it.
She's been very moody and pushy lately.
She's been biting too. So some people don't like that. Here it is.
Use this to great effect by preying on people's fears of trans people. And look, I think sometimes people do have questions. Who should play what sports? Who should get married? I don't think that all the questions are necessarily coming from a bad place.
This is an 80-20 issue, but remain on the 20% side and see how it works out.
It's about why are we so scared of trans people?
It's about providing clarity. We're scared of biological men. I'm not women. Wait. I don't want to get this women. Do you want a biological man wrestling a woman? Do you want a biological man spiking a volleyball at a woman?
Honestly, I don't care.
Wow.
I genuinely don't care. There are co-ed sports being played at the elementary school level across this country today.
Okay.
My point.
Same thing, obviously.
Okay.
So get in this.
Okay, so her point is there's co-ed sports being played across elementary schools. Elementary schools, the boys and the girls are the same size and same strength.
That's what we said this yesterday.
And here's the thing. When it comes to about 6th and 7th grade, girls peak before boys. I was the tallest girl. I was taller than all the boys in 7th grade. I came back for 8th grade.
And hotter.
And hotter. And then all of a sudden they were all taller than me. Until they get their growth spurt, women are actually bigger than guys.
And stronger.
They're stronger
Hayden,
than guys.
Hayden could kick the living shit out of Ethan. That will not be the case in a year.
Yeah, no, it's starting to not be the case now. But elementary, that's not an argument. That's a stupid argument. We're talking about full-grown males and full-grown females. And I mean, even in high school and middle school, no, I do not want boys competing in female sports, period. I mean, just period. They're not only is it wrong because they're stronger and they're going to hurt the women and they're going to basically take everything away from women because they will always beat the worst male will always beat the best female because they're better at everything.
It's just the truth.
They're better at anything physical as far as athlete.
It's just the truth. It's not personal.
But it's now coming to the point where boys are pretending to be trans to get into the female bathrooms and get into the female locker rooms. And I had read a story and saw a story a few months ago, and I don't remember where it was, but it was high school wrestling. And there was a boy who was wrestling as a female on the female wrestling team.
She can't walk anymore.
And he was sexually assaulting the girls on the mat.
Yeah, he was grabbing her vagina.
He was grabbing her when he pinned her. He grabbed her vagina.
Multiple times. It wasn't just once. It was like
and he did it to multiple girls.
He inserted is how he grabbed her, and she even said so. He's like he put fingers inside of me when he grabbed him. And
that's the thing is, most of these men are not doing it for the competition. They're doing it because they're perverts.
Well,
and it's an excuse to see women.
Or for gratification, right? They're doing it because they can't compete.
It's awful.
It's interesting. And then I'm turning over to Ames here. is Olivia wanted to put a video up today, and it was boys playing basketball, and there was this kid, and he was autistic, I would assume, or
something like that.
Yeah, and basically they were all playing basketball, and they put the kid under the net, and they gave him the ball, and he shot it like 7 times, and he missed it like 7 times, and then finally the other guy went and put it in, and I'm like, I think that's horrible.
Yeah, no, okay, I saw a different one where they actually like let him shoot until he got it in.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, even then, that's I like. See, Olivia's like, oh, it's so, and I said, no, it's not. If I would never demean my child that way, I would do whatever I could to teach that child to put that basket in themselves, or I wouldn't put them on the court. And I understand, but see, I just think differently than other people. I think that is so disrespectful to that child. And you're like, oh, well, they're so happy. Are they? Are they? Do you know that? Are you sure? And I just think that's not for the kid. That's for everyone else except the kid. And I feel this is the problem with transgender people, is that everyone's doing it for the transgender person, but not asking the question about how everyone else is feeling about this. And it's like their rights are so important. Well, what about everyone else's rights? And with that child who has autism or that child who has Down syndrome, and to put them in that situation that they can play basketball at that level, I think it's just as disingenuous as a bunch of guys pretending that a woman can be equal on the basketball court.
What?
Am I wrong? I mean, no. Hit me, and it's okay. Matt, you're an insensitive dick. That's totally cool. I respect that. But
the whole transgender thing, it's like 1%, less than 1% of our population. Why is everything surrounding them right now? Why is 1% taking our country hostage?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why is it?
It's
Let's ask the
absolutely
question.
ridiculous.
Why is it? Why is it? This is a great question, Amy.
Because they're screaming louder than everyone else.
Is that what it is? Or are there people giving them the platform? Are there people saying that this is what holistic or cultural acceptance, this is equity. This is what equity looks like, that you accept everybody for who they are, no matter who they are, even retards. You're a retard. I'm not talking about mentally retarded. I'm talking about there's a liberal up here who has a chance to speak, and I let them have the microphone, and I've got to sit there and listen to them for 2 minutes and give them equal billet. No. And I'm going to show you a video that shows, and from Canada, that's going to make you go, these people should not be allowed to speak. They shouldn't be allowed to vote. They shouldn't be allowed to think. They should be castigated to a certain island to raise with the village people, because these people are insane. Amy?
Yes.
Why is it so popular?
Oh, I think it's just like a social contagion. It reminds me of like the emo kids, not emo.
Yes.
Emo.
I always call them emu too.
I do too.
They're emus. Emo, right? Emo?
The emo kids. Yeah, I mean, I tried. I failed. Couldn't even do it for like a day, but I wanted to be that cool kid. And I think it's just a social contagion. It's like they popularized teenage pregnancies with those shows, 16 and Pregnant. And like that became like a big, I mean, I don't know. It's all a social contagion. I totally blame social media, TV, all these fake reality TV shows, and they're targeting our children. But to go back to the basketball thing, I did see one. It may have been a different video, but there was a child who had, it looked like he had like physical and mental disabilities.
Yes.
And there was a bigger kid who was like helping him get the ball, and the child did make it on his own. I think they were maybe 6 or 7. The basket was
They were wearing
lower.
blue.
It was number 50 that was helping
Number
him.
51.
Sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember all that. But I will say this when it comes to sports. My kids both play sports, and my son's basketball team was one of the worst at the beginning of the season, and they became one of the best. They were exceptional. And those kids always... there was not one kid who was like a show off. It was like, oh, hey, I want to try to make a shot. Can someone get me the ball? And every kid on that team was like, yeah, let's get it to so-and-so. And by the end of the season, they had the best team because every kid was able to develop their skills. And I know it's different because they're all older.
I'm not making fun of Rudy. A Rudy moment is a beautiful thing.
There was no
Rudy never should have been on the
children
field.
On the team.
Rudy never should have been on the field.
Yeah.
Rudy, it's great that Rudy got on the field, but Rudy never should have played it down a football. Ever. No. Sorry.
I disagree.
I don't care.
See, I think
I don't care that you disagree,
Yeah.
but if your goal is to win,
Yeah.
and it's to always win, and it's to set a standard that not everyone can play football, not everyone can be an engineer, not everyone can be an astronaut, not everyone can be in the military, not everyone gets to go to college. Should a person who is 5'6" be on a football field with people who are 6'4", 6'7", 265 pounds, and he has no talent or no ability whatsoever? Should that person get on the field and then set the precedent that anyone who desires that, because Rudy is the exception?
Okay.
The reason why Rudy's awesome is because there are no Rudys.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
here's the thing.
You
when it
circle
comes to the older sports, include high school, even middle school and above, that's where it gets super competitive. But they were like second and third graders, and every single kid just wants to feel like
so they should get a trophy.
belong.
Everyone gets a trophy.
No,
It's
that's
exactly
not
what you're
I'm
saying. That's exactly what you're saying.
But making a kid who is playing basketball.
What about the kid who doesn't get to play who's not retarded?
Well, see, the thing is, everyone gets to play on those teams. Every single kid
Did everyone
gets to
make a
play.
basket?
I have no idea, but
I guarantee they didn't. Let's hold on.
I wasn't done
But it doesn't mean we can't have a discussion. You get to interrupt. I get to interrupt. We're asking questions. Do you believe every single kid on that team should be able to score a basket?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure at one point they all did. I was on a team when I was in fifth grade, and we all played. Every single one of us. We all got the same amount of minutes.
Did everybody score a basket?
No, because some kids were better than others.
But why does he get to score a basket? Because he's retarded.
I see. I look at it completely different because they are little kids, and every single kid. What happens if he's the kid that gets singled out every single time, and the kids make fun of him for one moment in his life because those kids around him let him feel like he was a part, like he was a part of the team and important? You know, that kid is going to go through life.
And he can be important without that.
But that's the thing. In school, you're not.
Right. That's not true. Those children are treated. Hold on a second. That's not true. Let's have a discussion. I disagree. Because those kids get special buses. They get air conditioning. They get to eat different than everybody else. They get walked by teachers, and they get 6-person classrooms. They get special education and privileges that other kids don't.
But here's the thing.
Hold on. Can we stop pretending that they don't get special treatment every single day of their lives?
Yes, but they don't want that special treatment.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I don't. But a lot
then
of
why
kids
are we
just
giving
wanna-
them special treatment at basketball?
Because you can't stop. If you've already given them all the special treatment, then
that's
keep
the
it going.
standard.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
I'm not coming down on you.
Yeah.
I'm
I
challenging.
think it should be the standard for certain people who have mental limitations or physical, like there should be outliers and exceptions for them. Absolutely. Like we have handicapped bathroom stalls. Should we figure it out? Guy in the wheelchair. Sorry, can't fit in the stall.
That's my point. Liv, for Ethan,
there has to be exceptions for people.
With Ethan's speech impediment, and he has a little speech impediment. What if they put him in a special ed class? What if they put him in a class where he was with people with Down syndrome or mental retardation? Were you okay with that?
I would not have been happy about that.
Why?
Because one, he doesn't have something that he needs special attention.
He doesn't have a mental limitation.
He didn't have a mental. He was tongue tied, and he had a speech impediment because he couldn't figure out his tongue, how to move his tongue. So he did have to go to a speech therapist 2 to 3 times a week at school.
That's great.
And with other kids were in his
I wasn't looking for this long
class.
answer because I'm setting it up for another question. If he couldn't hit a fastball, do you think they should have slowed the pitch down?
No.
Okay. In no way, shape, or form. No matter what league, even a T-ball, he struck out.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Why does Ethan have to have that standard, but a kid who shouldn't even be playing the sport? And that's the truth. This is the transgender argument, and I'm trying to create a paradox for you two, for everybody who's watching. If we say transgender people don't get special treatment and they can't have their time in the sun, that they have to create their own sport, then why do we allow disabled kids and put them under the basket to shoot 6 times and then have number 51 shoot it because they can't even possibly make that basket like women's sports and not hold the same standard? Because what we're saying is the worse you are, the more we're okay with lowering the standard. And I think that's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing in women in the military. I think it's bad women in sports. I think it's bad for men in certain sports. I think we shouldn't lower the standards just to make somebody feel accepted, because that is everybody wins a trophy. Now, maybe you're like, Matt, come on, you're oversimplifying it. Am I? Because doesn't that trans kid who thinks he's a woman, who's a boy, who wants to play in women's sports, aren't his needs just as important as the kid who's mentally slow or with Down syndrome?
No.
Well, then this is where we say we're vegetarians, but we're okay with killing fish, but cows are unacceptable. We're not really a vegetarian now, are we? See, it's some things, right? But some things are acceptable, some things aren't. And I'm pointing out the hypocrisy. I'm not saying everything needs to be infinite and everything needs to be a zero-sum game. But
I get where you're coming from, and I do think that the transgender thing is a mental health crisis that we are in. And I don't think it's always the person who is cross-dressing or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it's the adults that are putting that on this child. And I think they have the mental illness and not the children necessarily. I do not believe that we should make exceptions for their bathrooms or their, like they should play, if you're born with boy equipment, you play on the boys team, no matter how you want to identify yourself in public, you play on the team you should be assigned to. Now, if that person doesn't get a chance to make a basket, should they be helped because it's a sport? Sure. I think it's okay to like throw them the ball and get them and let them have time shooting. I mean, it depends on their age, right?
I mean, it's different. Yeah, it's completely different, right?
Like to me, it's different. Using a bathroom that you should be using because of privacy and the ability of a man, I mean, middle school on, boys are going to be much stronger. My son is 12 and I don't know if I could still take him down. He can certainly beat me up if he wanted to, probably. Don't tell him that.
I won't tell him that. I won't.
He's extremely strong at 12 years old. He's also only a couple inches shorter than me at this point. He's muscle on muscle. He's just a big kid. I don't want that kid. My son's not going to go to a girl's bathroom. He's just not. He's just not.
Yeah.
And I would never want a young man going into a girl's bathroom now if my son's on a basketball team and he sucks and they're like, hey, get it to Zach. He needs to get a basket this season. I think that's fine. I do. I don't see the problem with that.
The only reason I'm saying
he's not bad. He is very good.
No, I understand that. And I want to say thank you to Thomas Austin, 5199.
Thank you,
Start
Thomas.
the week. Thank you, Tommy. Someone said, I hope Matt's in a mood tonight. And this isn't his purpose. Why do I have to be in a see?
No,
why
I
do
think
we?
You're just asking questions.
Why do we have
play
to
devil's
do that?
advocate in a way.
Why do we have to do
a lot? You do play devil's advocate. He does play devil's advocate a lot, and always takes. Majority of the time he will take the side that's unpopular and that is looked down upon, just so there's a discussion.
That's right. I just want to talk.
It doesn't mean he believes it. It's he's having the discussion and asking the hard questions that nobody wants to ask or hear.
And here's the reason I ask it. Because there's a kid out there who's shown up to practice every single day. There's a kid out there who has no lick of talent whatsoever, could never hit a fastball, never make a basket from any range outside of the paint. He shows up every day. He gets the water. He gets the balls. He collects them after practice. He even washes people's uniforms at the ever. He slaps everyone on the butt, and he brings chips and brings cupcakes at the end. And he does everything he can to fit in. And nobody gave him a basket. That kid deserves it more than a person with Down syndrome who has no reason to play that sport.
Yeah.
And that's just once again, I'm not in a mood.
No.
This is a discussion where we have Amy in the house and we get to have some really rich dialogue. Yeah. And I want us to look at our own hypocrisy. I want us to look at our hypocrisy because no, this isn't what I necessarily believe because we've had kids. There was a kid that struck out every damn time and cost us the championship. And he would get up and we knew he was never going to hit the ball. And I cheered him on just as much as I cheered on the start hitter. But that doesn't mean he should have been you should not have him there in the bottom of the ninth. With 2 outs, with 1 guy on base, and you're down by 1, that kid, you should have subbed him.
It's pay to play. They have to. There's all these bylaws. I know.
I know, but that's the point. You got to teach people that it's okay to lose. It's okay to lose. And little Timmy, who has no chance, could have hit water if he fell out of a f***ing boat, has no right being up in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs with 1 guy on base and down by 1 run. You put up your heavy hitter. You sub that kid out.
Yeah.
But you know what? They kept putting him up, and guess what? He struck out.
Yeah.
And the entire team went like this.
Yeah.
And then went up and shook hands, and they said, "You be a good sport. You. He's more important than your feelings." And I'm like, is he? Is that one kid's feelings more important that he went up and failed and knew he was going to fail? If you ask little Timmy, he probably would have said, "Please sub me out. I want to win." But we gave him the bat anyway because it was his rotation. And I think that that's wrong. I think it's stupid. So yeah, I'm not in a mood. This is just what I think. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm right. You got to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go soon. Yeah.
You going to go now or go soon?
I can do like maybe 10 more minutes.
Another 10 minutes.
I said I'd be home by 10 at the latest. So I'm like, okay, I can do a little bit longer.
Kim says, I was just saying, and listen, I don't take offense. I want you guys to challenge but I also want you to understand is that I can defend that kid with Down syndrome also.
Yes.
And I can tell you why it's important that we allow him to do that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I promise you there was some kid on this team that said, "Why didn't anyone let me make a basket, Mom? Why did the fucking retard get it?" And you know what? I'm kind of like, kid, I kind of understand where you're coming from. I don't know why Corky got to shoot anyway. Son, I can't tell you. Son, life's hard. You suck at basketball.
We should bring back the show Life Goes On, because that did have a lot of great lessons
good.
with
Even
someone who had
AIDS.
a mental disability.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great show.
Corky never asked for a handout.
He never did.
No, he never did. We never let Corky shoot the ball.
We let him drive a car backwards.
We let him have sex with a woman. Can you imagine that? Dad, go ahead. Corky, having a good time.
Mom, I told you not to bother me while I'm vacuuming my room.
Yeah. Oh my
Special
God.
Officer Duty reporting.
You know, I've never seen that show.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert,
It was one of those shows I wasn't allowed to watch for some reason.
Your mom wouldn't let you watch anything. You were the retard. She wouldn't give you any. She wouldn't give you anything. She would.
I was good at sports though.
Yeah, you're also good looking. Listen, these are good conversations.
Yeah.
Here's why. I believe that some people shouldn't have the right to speak.
I think you should go into the Newsom video because this goes right into.
Oh, that's perfect.
Newsom.
That's a great idea. Newsom. Here it is.
This is next level, man. This is one of the most interesting places I've ever been in. ADHD Avenue. I mean, everything about this is, I feel like I'm home. You know, dyslexics that are surrounded by, these special folks, particularly the young folks there. So I'm grateful. I'm also weird. Sharon, forgive me.
I think Colorado's a little pissed. It's 4-0 in the first. They're just done.
Are you serious?
They're just destroying Calgary.
This is embarrassing. You can turn all that off. Just because all the noise, that we just need to turn off. And listen to this. This is it, man. This is it.
Wow.
Shoot the basket, Corky.
Fix all this stuff. This is it. Listen to these guys. We're all just sitting there yelling and screaming at each other. Everybody's getting each other's throats and trying to tear everybody down. And, how are we going to get out of this? This is it. You heard these guys.
Oh my.
I got to take.
I guarantee.
I got to take.
So do I.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just letting go. You get it. It's all you.
Freaking. First, you can't read. Now you're dyslexic and ADHD.
Yeah.
Dude, for starters, if you can't read, you can't have dyslexia.
Yeah.
Fucktard. Excuse my language. I guarantee that he had like an electrode strapped to his balls. And when because he can't cry because he's got no emotions anyway, I guarantee he told somebody, okay, when I say this, zap me so I cry, please. Because I guarantee he couldn't cry on his own. People actually want him to run for president? Are you freaking serious?
Nobody wants him to run for president. He's going to, though.
I can't.
Who's going to vote for him?
Everybody. 50 million people. 50 million people will vote for Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
It's just sad. He has just gone downhill. Before he had charm.
You thought he was good looking.
He was good. He had charm.
You wanted to have sex with him.
No, I didn't.
You wanted to have sex with Gavin Newsom.
No, never. Not once. No, he had charm. He, just like you think AOC's hot. but you don't think anything else about
No,
her.
I said she's hot, and then I mute it.
Exactly.
Once I hear her talk, it's
exactly.
It's
Looks
midnight.
good in pictures,
It's
and
6
that's
to
about it.
midnight. Midnight to 6.
Exactly. Same thing. But not anymore. He used to have charm. He was charismatic.
I'd still sleep with her. I'm just
He doesn't anymore. He's
Only
just
with a
like
ball gag.
sinking down into this hole.
Do you want to
That
gag me now?
just, I don't know. He's just awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Olivia put this in, so we got to do Michael, U.S. Air Force veteran, donated $5 to a super chat. What's worse, being treated like a retard or being called a retard?
Think that
Being treated like one, I would say, would be worse.
I call my
If
kids
you're-
retard all the time, and they love it.
Yeah.
Like, they love it. I'm like, you're a retard. They're like, Dad, I'm an idiot. I'm like, you're right. Your sister's the retard. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Somebody said, Steven said, so if you're not first, you're last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second place is
Second
the
place for
first
losers. Yeah, it's first loser. Sorry, I'm all about winning. Amy?
Yeah.
This one's for you. Do you want to talk about Newsom, or do you want me to show you the Canadian video, which is really going to put your night on a...
I want to see the Canadian
This
video.
is going to help you.
This one's fun too. I found this
You're
one
going to love
too.
this one. This is all you, sister. You get it. Welcome back. And can I say, I love when Amy's here, because we really get into some deep conversations. We don't have to follow the script all the time, because she's grounded.
Because I'm retarded.
Because she's retarded. We love retards. We love
We treat
retards.
everyone the same.
Yeah. I get special treatment.
We love retards. Here we go.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to
Remind me, did Tucker ever come out and say that he was MAGA?
This is where I've been. Now, these are tied in together. This is May. First of all, I love this guy. I would totally steal his setup because I think it's a great shot. The black and white is killer, and he's really smart. But this is what I've been trying to say about the MAGA movement. We started out the show this way, and we're going to bring it full circle here. Watch this. Oh, and folks, we're at 254.66, which is really good. Amy's here, and we're making donations.
This is
Thank
thank you for feeling bad for me as the mentally challenged person on the show.
40,
Give me that basket.
45 some odd dollars is where we're at, folks. Final minutes. We've probably got about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to get out of here.
Oh, man.
Watch this video. This is really good.
Remind me, did Tucker ever come out and say that he was MAGA? Make America Great Again, America First? Has he ever said that? No. He was against Trump before he was for him. Same thing for Joe Rogan. Same thing for so many of those people who jumped on the Trump train at the very end, right as it was pulling into the station to win.
Yep.
Now, before then, no, they waited until it was almost a sure thing. And then when Trump and the movement didn't move at their pacing and do what these non-MAGA people said, they got pissed off and they jumped back off. America First is America First. MAGA is MAGA. It has nothing to do with Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, or any of the other influencers that are suddenly telling you you should look a different way. Because at the end of the day, folks, this is the option. This is all that's left. We don't have anybody else to go to. This is the world that the globalists and the left and these influencers that jump back and forth, this is the world that they have ready for you.
Tim Kramer. I love him. Been watching him for a little bit now. I love his comments. Sounds familiar. Nice to see some people wake up on the retard right. This is the retard right, folks, and it's here. And trust me, they are horrible.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Here's the retard left
class.
that resembles the retard right in Canada. This is what he was talking about. This is what he was talking about right here. Harry Truman, Ross Perot's mother, has something to say.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes, hello. I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker.
Oh my God.
That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con,
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at con mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if this was also used inappropriate in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
Oh my God. I've been saying this for a while. The Purge, it's a movie. I haven't seen it before, but I think what happens is the government sells licenses to kill people. And it's legal.
Once a year.
Once a year, you can buy licenses to murder people.
Well, no, you don't buy licenses. It's once a year.
You have to buy a license to do it. It's what I understood.
There's a couple of different ones. There's one with Ethan.
It doesn't matter. Let's get to it.
They basically, once a year, the government, you can commit murder and not be held accountable.
Okay, I want to do that. I want to do that very badly because I have some people in videos that I believe will fall under that category with me. Amy, this is the woke left, but sounds a lot like the white. If you watch CPAC, this holy shit, it was very reminiscent. I mean, this is insane. This is these people are retarded.
I was genuinely, my mouth was open. I have a lot of questions about this. Like, what are their cards? What do they say? How do you choose which card for privilege you're going to use? Do you have to prove the privilege that you're choosing, or do you just assign yourself what privilege you want to have? Because there's a category of hierarchy. So why wouldn't you just choose the highest privilege
identify as
card?
a Black female lady.
I don't know.
You are. The only word you missed was fat.
I just have so many questions. What was this even for? What was this?
This is the NDP.
Debate?
It's essentially the Communist Party of Canada.
I just have a lot of questions. I wish I was there. I don't know how you get tickets to this. I think this should be like a field trip for us next year. I'm really sad that I didn't see this in person because this.
Why weren't they at the No Kings March? I mean, weren't they supposed to be doing that instead? Wasn't that there?
Was it Canada? I don't have No Kings.
Yes, they do. It's all over the world, guys. Did you even watch the news? There's people.
No,
No Kings is all over the world. Everyone participated. Those billionaires have a lot of money.
What I want to know, my question is these people are completely stupid and retarded. How in the world did they get the brain power to actually organize an event like this?
It's the money. It's the Soros funded. There's a billionaire in China that funded most of the No Kings protests. You guys, this is all funded by foreign influence. This is the Saul Alinsky playbook. This is what they do. This is what happened in the 70s. This is what happened in the feminist movement. It's to destroy societal norms and create cynicism and derision towards the country. These people hate the United States. They hate it. They don't. They want it to be destroyed. They want to see it relegated to something of the past. This is the way it is. Last one, then we're out of here. We're gonna end with the MAGA way with Ben Shapiro. There was a time when Ben Shapiro was the voice of conservatives. He was. This is it. We're done. 2 minutes. We're not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to show it to you, and then we're going to get the hell off the phone.
This would be her continued complete moral betrayal of Erica Kirk to kiss Candace Owens' ass, even as she cosplays as the brave woman standing up against censors who don't exist. She says she'll die before she bends the knee to those who criticize Candace Owens, which is why, for example, sadly, Megyn Kelly continues to pretend she's the vanguard of the conservative movement, citing, wait for it, her YouTube numbers. Yesterday, because she's upset at me, she put out a statement saying that she wanted to thank her audience because they had 138 million views on YouTube in February alone, twice every show on CBS News combined. And then she talks about my YouTube traffic and says that her YouTube traffic is significantly higher than my YouTube traffic. Again, I'm not going to get into a contest of comparing statistics on episode downloads or YouTube downloads for specific episodes with Megyn Kelly, because that's not how I measure morality. But that is clearly how Megyn measures morality.
Ben, you should measure your face and the amount of facial hair in one space. You really need to get rid of that jail pussy on your face. It does not work for you. You look effeminate. It looks painted on. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is a guy who dyes his beard. Yeah. Just either let it go gray. But this whole thing, no.
It's like it's too full for the mustache, and everything else is like
too
just
thin, yeah.
Yep.
It needs
too
to be
much.
all in one shot.
Too much. Too much,
and
folks.
I think he should wear a colored yarmulke that doesn't match his hair, so it stands out more.
Yes,
because sometimes I am
yellow
confused.
or green fuchsia.
Just have like a Jewish flag.
Well, you look like Don Johnson anyway, so a purple would look like a fuchsia, a neon color would look really good with that, because then you got the Crockett and Tubbs thing going on. Folks, we're $46 away.
Now, some might point out that Megyn's supposed bravery, because Megyn tends to put herself out there as a brave figure standing up to the predations of the censors. Some might point out that Megyn's bravery stops precisely where the clicks end. that she was pro-trans until the cliques turned against it, at which point she suddenly became the most militant, cursing opponent of the trans movement.
He looks like a Jewish Chuck Norris. That's so perfect.
That she was pro-Israel until the cliques turned against it, at which point she started hinting of dark, sinister conspiracies to silence her. That she was pro-Erica Kirk until the cliques turned against it, at which point she went totally silent on Candace Owens, slandering the widow of her supposed friend. There is not and has not been a political parade that begins without Megyn Kelly at the front, that ends without Megyn at the front waving a baton.
Amy has exorcised the demons. The donation curse has been cleansed.
This house has been exorcised.
Exercise. Mr. Holiday donated $45.34. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you so
300
much.
flat.
And as for her purported bravery against censorship, let's be clear. According to Megyn herself, she's thriving. She's got great traffic. No one's censoring her. And she's talking about every topic under the sun, particularly things like Israel. Well, I shouldn't say every topic, almost every topic. It turns out there is one topic she won't talk about. That, of course, would be her continued complete moral betrayal of Erica Kirk to kiss Candace Owens' ass, even as she cosplays as the brave woman standing up against.
All right. Man, Ben certainly has fallen from the tree just a little. He's allowing these people to gaslight him. Folks, can I say something really exciting? Friday night during the show that we did that I wish Amy was here for, or I think it was, when would we do the Friday? Was it Friday?
Scott. Yes, it was Friday.
Scott Lloyd. We went after the Front Royal. I don't know if you saw this, but Front Royal had a massive Republican National Committee chairman vote, and they blocked people from voting.
Oh,
and a bunch of Democrats.
They let Democrats in the room. They wouldn't let Republicans in the room. They had the sheriff's husband who was threatening people and blocking the door, not letting people in.
We got a recording of him threatening people. Now everyone's sending in all the dirt on these guys. He said he was going to come on.
Ask my hairstylist.
It's insane. Like, so that show, Rumble pushed it. We had like 45,000 views. I didn't decide to go ahead and call up all the podcasters who I beat that day and let them know that I was on their heels. Our podcast, on average, makes $5 to $7 a day, which is actually really good for a podcast. I don't know if you guys know this, but for the last 3 days, we've been averaging $55 to $75 a day on our podcast. It has blown up. I'm not calling, the other 99.6% of the podcast and saying, you guys are you losers. No, because I've said this, that imitation or admiration or envy or comparison is the destroyer of creativity. And I don't sit here and compare myself to other podcasts. Now, when we've been beating Tim Pool every night for like a month, that's cool. It's great. But honestly, Tim Pool makes millions a year, and we don't. But just because our live numbers are better on Facebook, it doesn't mean that I can compete with his 20,000 on Rumble. So I don't care about that. What I care about is that I will put my show and my team against anybody Tim Pool has, that anyone Megyn has, anyone Candace has, because our election night coverage and our story coverage has been spot on, and we are right. And we don't get a lot of people fact checking us because they know that we're right. I'll put that against any numbers you want, because the rest is algorithm and exposure and who gives them the most corporate advertising. I'm going to turn it over to Amy for last word, then Olivia, and that was mine. So Amy, $51.99. Paul Rivera, thank you, Paul. Gotta get it done. Welcome back, Amy. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Amy, last word.
First of all, thank you to all the dummies for such a warm welcome back. Honestly, it's really good to be back. I really, truly have been missing all of you, and I weirdly think about all of you daily. I do pray for you all daily too. It's really good to be back. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for the great donations, and I'll see you guys in 3 months. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That was perfect. That was just perfect. Just leave it there. That was awesome.
Ass. Olivia, I'm just surprised we hit goal. Olivia, we haven't allowed her back because we were trying to break
now
the trend.
Now it's going to bring to Leroy, because Leroy's been struggling.
Leroy's been good. Everyone's been great. Liv, last word.
I'm happy to see you, Amy. Happy to have you back in the house. And It was a little contentious at times tonight, but it was good. It was a good discussion.
It
needs to be like that every once in a while. And it's nice to get out of the norm of our show where we watch videos, we comment for a few and go to the deep conversation was a little refreshing to have a little bit of a change, and it was nice.
It is. I like it when we disagree. And we're not disagreeing. We're just coming. You said it best when you like, I know what Matt's doing. Matt's playing devil's advocate, and you and I are getting a shorthand with each other where we're allowed to have some really good arguments or disagreements, and we're not taking it personal.
Yeah. But he does fill out my vote. He tells me who to vote for.
Colors your bubbles in.
Oh, I color her bubbles in all the time.
He let me have a Pepsi this weekend, so I'm pretty lucky.
Dawn says it best. She goes, best election coverage right here. It's what hooked me on the show, plus Matt's charm. Olivia does say that I'm charming on the phone to women all the time.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, I can hear them blushing on the phone when he puts them on speaker and he talks to people. I can just hear them blushing. I don't know what it is.
I can lick my eyebrows too, folks.
Oh my gosh.
It's a talent.
They don't know that. They don't even know what you look like. I don't know.
They don't know what I look like.
Well, when you're talking to people on the phone, it's just, I don't know.
Well, they can hear them. You know what I mean? All right, folks, listen. Thank you so much. Tomorrow night, Jessica frickin' Lynch.
Yes.
That's awesome.
POW 2003, Iraq. She's going to bring her real story. There was the media narrative, and then her real story, and she is adamant to say what really happened versus this. She had a chance. We were both invited to Lisa Regina's fundraiser for her new show. And Barry was going to be there. It's going to be massive. And who else? What's his name?
Joe Montagna.
Joe Montagna.
There's several people that are going to be there. And
Olivia.
So I'm going to end up going. So I'm not going to see the first hour of the Jessica Lynch interview.
But it's going to be Leroy and I. And then Olivia is going to come in, hopefully, and sit down and so we can see Jessica. But please be here for tomorrow. Be here with bells on. Donations on the back end, please. We're not going to do it during her visit, but
yes, we'll put them in after she leaves. So, but they'll still be here, so you guys can still filter them in. We'll still see them.
Be here for tomorrow. I'm going to be spending all morning. I'm getting up at like 4 or 5, and I'm going to start prepping the show. It's going to be a great one. Amy, I love you. I'm so happy to have you back. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching the show. Good night.
Y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.